A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coats present Marion and Jim Jordan as Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, the King's Men, and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Shine. And once again, it's Fibber McGee and Molly time. Fibber McGee and Molly. The dramatic story of a woman with her faith in a man. And a man with his faith in a newspaper. Will something exciting, unusual, or momentous take place in the little frame house at 79 Wistful Vista tonight? Or is that expecting too much? Yes, I guess it's expecting too much. Anyway, here they are, Fibber McGee and Molly.
Anything interesting in the paper, dearie?
Well, here's an interesting article on crop surpluses, Molly.
You don't say.
Yeah. Now, take corn, for instance.
Certainly, we can take it and we can dish it out.
Hey, I'm serious. This writer says that if conditions keep up, the small farmer will be completely annihilated.
Oh.
Hey, what's annihilated?
Annihilated. Why, that means, when a farmer, now, for instance...
Where's the dictionary?
It's probably in the closet with the rest of your stuff. Give me your key and I'll get it for you.
Oh, no, you don't. You lay off the stuff in that closet. I got all my stuff arranged in there just the way I want it.
Now, don't be silly. Give me the key.
Okay. Now, let's see. Which one of these is it belongs to?
Heavenly days. Why do you carry all those keys? Does it make you feel important or something?
What do you mean, important? Every one of them keys is necessary.
What's that little key there for?
Well, that's a padlock key.
What padlock?
Oh, for the backyard gate we used to have in Peoria.
What are you keeping that for? You homesick?
No, but if we ever moved back to Peoria, I'd try to rent the same house because this key fits the padlock there. You got to think ahead in these things. And you see this key here?
Looks like the key to a can of salmon.
Nope, sardines. I use that to clean my pipe with.
Oh, I see.
Now, let's see. Which one of these keys is the closet door key?
Say, maybe we better see if the closet is locked. Let me take a look.
Oh, it's locked all right. You don't think I'd leave all my personal defects laying around for any prowler to get his hands on?
McGee, it isn't locked. Why, better see your hands and see if it's just all falling out.
All right, but Dad Rabbit, you might have been more careful.
Wait, Cal! There's funny little insects all over me. Brush them off, quick.
Oh, calm yourself, calm yourself. Them are my trout flies.
Oh.
Doggone it, Molly. Why did you have to go and mess up?
Oh, dear. Come in.
Fibber McGee and Molly?
Yes.
Tell me, with all these radio shows being changed, is it true that you're going to cut your program down to a half hour?
What do you mean, cut it down? It's only a half hour now.
What? Boy, it sure seems like an hour.
Well, as the guy says when he fell off of the horse and heard something bust, that sounded to me like a rib.
Well, never mind that now. Oh, dear, look at all this junk that fell out of that closet.
Don't worry, I'll put it back, Molly.
Oh, no, you won't.
Huh?
We're going to go through that pile of whatnots and throw everything out we don't need.
Oh, yeah? Well, I've been through this stuff 100 times, and there ain't a thing of it that I can spare.
Oh, there isn't.
No.
What's this old rusty horseshoe for?
Well, I found that in 1911. As soon as I find 3 more, we can pitch horseshoes in the backyard.
I see. You expect to find 3 more,
You
huh?
betcha.
You don't think the automobile is here to stay, eh?
Won't be if we don't catch up with the payments.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. What you want?
You remember that job you promised me to take care of your baby, only you didn't have one, so I was going to bring my little brother over and take care of him, remember? Do you?
Yes, sure I remember,
Well, the deal is off, see?
What you mean the deal is off? In the first place, there wasn't any deal, and in the second...
My mommy had to take my little brother to the doctor today, so I can't bring him over.
Oh, that's too bad. What's the matter with your little brother? Anything serious?
My mama thinks so.
Oh. She thinks so, huh?
She thinks so. I had to clear my throat there. She thinks he swallowed a dime.
Swallowed a dime, we'll say. That is serious.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, he didn't swallow a dime, I bet you.
Huh?
It was only 8 cents.
Only 8 cents. How do you know?
Well, we were playing slot machine, and I fed him to him. What you doing, mister?
Well, we're cleaning out this closet, if you must know.
I mustn't.
Mustn't what?
No.
No?
Yes.
What?
Hmm?
Oh. Listen, sis, suppose you go on home and annoy somebody else. Go bother your daddy.
He isn't home. He's working on the senseless.
On the what?
The senseless. He goes to people's doors and asks them how many people in the family and how old are you and all stuff like that there, I bet you.
Oh, you mean the census?
Hmm?
Shucks, I didn't even think a kid your age knew what a census was.
Well, I do, I bet you.
Yeah?
A census is information plays on the red, white, and blue network. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
While we're waiting for Fibber and Molly to return, I'd like your attention for just a minute. If you have valuable jewels, you protect them by keeping them in your safe or in a secret compartment. Valuable papers you keep in a strong box or vault. How can you protect your valuable furniture, floors, and woodwork? By locking them under a safe protective shield of genuine Johnson's wax. That may seem like a strong statement, but it's really true. When you apply a coat of Johnson's wax, you are completely covering the surface with an invisible yet very tough shield of real wax. This wax guards the floors and furniture surfaces against wear and against dirt and moisture. From time to time, you renew the coating of Johnson's wax, and your floors and furniture are given permanent protection. What is equally important, they have that rich, wax-polished glow that good housekeepers cherish. If your home is not wax-protected and wax-beautified, order genuine Johnson's Wax, paste or liquid, tomorrow.
this stuff falling out of one little closet. How'd you ever get it all in there?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I just inherited a gift for packing. My great Aunt Minnie had a job stuffing pimentos into olives. Oh, hey, look at this, Molly. The tabaret I made in manual training. Yeah?
Didn't you ever finish anything? It's only got 3 legs.
They wouldn't let me stay in the 5th grade another year.
Ah, McGee, look. One of our old dance programs before we were married. I didn't know you were so sentimental, dearie.
Is that a dance program? I was saving it on account of that little pencil hanging onto it. You never know when you'll need a pencil.
Listen to this. Waltz, waltz, turkey trot, waltz, bunny hug, waltz, Texas Tommy, waltz.
What, no schottish?
Grizzly bear, waltz.
There.
You had every dance with me but the last waltz. McGee, who did you dance that one with?
Why, nobody. We sat that one out. In the buggy, remember?
Oh, yes. And we couldn't go back to the dance because you sat on a box of Lowney's chocolate-covered cherries and spoiled your white pants.
That was the night they took the... Come in.
Oh, hello, Johnny. Hello, daughter. Say, I'm looking for a nice room in the neighborhood. Got one to rent?
No, I don't believe so, Mr. Oldtimer.
Oh, come on, kids. I'll pay $3 a week with meals, or $2 a week and eat out, or $2.50 if you let me see the funny paper first on Sundays.
Nothing doing, old-timer. We ain't taking boarders.
Hey?
Absolutely not.
The last boarder we had was a tap dancer. Kept me awake all morning. I finally got tired of it and knocked him cold with one of his steel-plated shoes and stuffed it into his own trunk.
Incidentally, McGee, where did you ship that from?
Off to Buffalo.
Wow! That's pretty good, Johnny. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller said, t'other feller, say, says, I see where Scarlett O'Hara got the Academy Award. Yep, says t'other feller. She lost out with Rhett, but she sure got her Oscar. Well, I'm sorry you ain't got a room for me. Slept in the park all last summer and didn't like it. The roof leaked. So long, kid.
I'm getting a little tired of all them Gone with the Wind gags.
Yeah.
I don't know how a picture about the bluegrass country could produce so many bum plugs.
Well, never mind that, McGee. Isn't there any of this junk we can throw away now?
Well, now, let me see, Molly. How about this old photograph album here?
I should say not. That's got all our family pictures in it.
Oh, dear.
Who's this funny-looking man with the walrus mustache, McGee?
Oh, that's my great Uncle Roscoe. We were pretty proud of Uncle Roscoe. He was the first white child in the county to be blackballed by the Elks.
Here's one of me Aunt Ad and Aunt Carrie. They both had big families.
Yeah, how many kids do they have, anyway?
10 between them. Ad 6 and Carrie 4. McGee, now, what are you going...
Well, hello there, folks. I was just going by and I thought Well, what goes on here? Have you been buying out an antique store?
Hi, Harlow.
This is just a lot of stuff McGee's been hoarding in the closet, Mr. Wilcox.
Isn't it wonderful how much you can pack into so little space?
Uh-oh.
For instance, you only give me about 6 lines to tell how Johnson's Glow Coat saves hours of house cleaning because it beautifies and protects linoleum with absolutely no rubbing or buffing. But in those 6 lines, I think I can get the idea across pretty well that a self-polishing preparation like Glow Coat is the very essence of good housekeeping.
Boy.
It's so easy to use that it's easy to tell about.
Ain't he marvelous, folks? That guy has dedicated his whole life to Johnson's Glow Coat.
What do you mean, Fibber?
Harlow, they tell me that way back when you were in college, they wanted you to stroke the crew, and you said no. No stroking, no rubbing, and no buffing. Even for dear old University of Southeastern Nebraska.
Is that true, Mr. Wilcox?
No, I wasn't a crew man. I went out for ROTC.
Oh, Reserve Officers Training Corps?
No, revolutionizing old-time cleaning. Well, so long, folks.
Well, he got you there, McGee.
Yeah. As the golf ball says, when it landed 5 feet from the tee, I think I've been topped. Well, let's get busy, Molly, and put this stuff back in the closet.
You mean you're going to keep all this junk? Can't we throw any of it out?
No, sir. I got a use for every one of these things.
Now, you don't need this, do you?
Huh?
What good is one snowshoe?
Why, one what?
Snowshoe.
Is that a snowshoe? Well, shucks, no wonder Billy Mills beat me so bad playing tennis.
Oh, now what? Come in.
Hi, sis. Can we... Oh, hey, Molly. Look. It's Gracie Allen.
Well, hello, Gracie. Won't you come in?
Oh, no, thank you, Molly. And I wouldn't have dropped in if I'd known you were entertaining.
Oh, we ain't entertaining.
Oh, you are, too. I think you're very entertaining. Now, you say something nice about Georgie and me.
Oh, T.L.
Yeah.
Well, I heard, Gracie, that the difference between our shows is that yours is always in the middle of the week, and ours is always week in the middle.
Oh.
Gracie, what's this I hear about you running for president of the United States?
Oh, there's nothing to it.
Oh, you mean you're not running for president, huh?
Oh, I mean I'll be elected. There's nothing to it.
Oh, yeah? Well, I ain't one to indulge in no idle gossip, Gracie. But I've heard whispers about Dewey and Hull and Garner and Taft being in the White House next year. But I suppose they're just rumors.
They are not. I'll be running the White House, and I'm not going to take in any rumors.
What's your party, Gracie?
Oh, well, it's my own party, the surprise party.
Oh, what an adorable name, dear.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it.
Well, you can count on our votes, Gracie. I always said there should be a woman in the White House.
How about Mrs. Roosevelt?
She's never in the White House.
Molly, do you play bridge?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm forming my cabinet, and I need 7 more bridge players.
How big a cabinet you going to have?
Just 2 tables.
You need a good pool player?
Well, no, I'm having the pool table taken out. The 8-ball gets in front of too many people.
By the way, Gracie, when do you expect to move into the White House?
January 1st.
January 1st?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to be inaugurated on New Year's Eve, are you?
Well, I may not be inaugurated, but I'll be feeling pretty good. Well, I guess I'll be running along now.
Well, I'm glad you dropped in, Gracie. You think you can handle your campaign all right?
Oh, yes, I can handle my campaign, though the bubbles always tickle my nose a little bit. Well, thank you both, and don't forget my slogan, Grace the White House with Gracie. Good night.
The King's Men sing...
Kaboozalum, Kaboozalum, Kaboozalum was the daughter of the bar. In ancient days there lived a Turk, a horrid beast within the East, who did the prophet's holy work as Baba of Jerusalem. He had a daughter sweet and smirk, a maiden fair with flaming hair, and all about her like a Turk except her name. Kaboozalum, oh, Kaboozalum, oh, Kaboozalum, Kaboozalum, the daughter of the Baba. The Baba, the Baba. Zoom, 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 zoom. A boy resided near to she, his name was Sam, a perfect lamb. He was of ancient pedigree and came of old Methuselah. He drove a trade and prospered well, and Gunny sacks and Johnson's waxen ringing at the Baba's bell. He met, he loved, he wooed, he won. Kaboozalum, the daughter of the Baba, Jerusalem. Oh, Kaboozalum, oh, Kaboozalum, the lovers were discovered by the Baba. The Baba, the Baba. Zoom, 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 zoom. The Baba went beside himself, forgot his prayers, and rushed upstairs and took a bowstring from his shelf and came back to bamboozle. Oh, the youth had made him, then he took and choked them both, and nothing rolled together, pitched them in the brook of Kidron near Jerusalem. Oh, Kaboozalum, oh, Kaboozalum, Kaboozalum, the daughter of the Baba. The Baba, the Baba. Zoom, 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 zoom. And so the ancient legend goes, when they had gone from Babylon, when the eastern moonlight throws its shadows round Jerusalem, mid the wailing of the cats, a sound there falls on ruined walls. The ghost of Sam in 3 old hats is seen to kiss. Kaboozalum, Kaboozalum, oh, Kaboozalum, oh, Kaboozalum, Kaboozalum, the daughter of the Baba. Oh, Kaboozalum.
my impatience with you.
Why?
Packing all this useless junk back in that closet. How about these old books?
What old book? Let's see it. Oh, them. Well, that's my correspondence course in taxidermy.
Taxidermy. Why on earth did you want to study taxidermy?
Well, how did I know it meant stuffing birds and animals? And there I was, stuck with a chauffeur's license, a city map, and a pair of puttees.
Well, hurry up and put your playthings back in the closet.
Okay.
Looks terrible laying around here on the floor with that...
I'll get it. Hello? No, this is the McGee residence. You got the wrong number. Oh, is that you, Mert?
Egad, every week the same thing. Apologies to Skinny Ennis.
How's every little thing, Mert? What's that? Your Uncle Gulliver. Oh, that's too bad, Mert.
Oh, my.
And they ain't found the body yet, huh?
Oh, heavenly days, McGee. What happened?
Mert's uncle drove his car off a cliff and had to walk home. They found the chassis up in a tree, but they don't know where the body is. What say, Mert? Oh, that's okay, Mert. Everybody has the wrong number now and then, except Irving Berlin. Well, now, let's see.
McGee, why are you saving this long stick of bamboo?
Why, Molly, that's got a very definite purpose. If I was offered a job as sparring partner for Joe Louis, that's the 10-foot pole I wouldn't touch it with. I got it right.
Oh, for goodness sake. Come in. Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Uppington? So nice to see you.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. McGee?
Hi, Uppy.
Good heavens, what a... Oh, my, it looks as if there'd been an explosion in here.
No, just some things that fell out of the closet, Mrs. Uppington. McGee had everything in there but the kitchen sink.
Oh, really? Everything but the kitchen sink? Oh, my, isn't that amusing? Oh, but what I came in for, Mrs. McGee, was to tell you about the symphony concert I've been planning with Maestro Mills.
Oh, yes, the symphony concert. Well, it's about time something was happening about that, Mrs. Uppington.
I've been waiting so long for that concert, Uppy, I'm even getting suspicious of Billy Mills. I'm afraid he's a non-conductor.
Ah, well, we must be patient, you know. There's been so many difficulties. For one thing, we're having trouble with the facilities at the Eagles Hall.
Oh, what's wrong, Mrs. Uppington?
Oh, it's the Eagles, my dear.
The Eagles?
Yes, they're all roosting up in the rafters, and during rehearsals, they drop eggs on the orchestra.
You ought to call them down and give them seats in the first row, Uppy. Them birds are critics.
Yes, indeed, they certainly... Oh, now, please, Miss McGee. It's discouraging enough as it is.
I hear they had a kind of an accident during rehearsal the other night,
Oh,
Uppy.
yes, and it was so embarrassing.
So?
Yes, the musician playing the electric guitar reached for a high note and blew every fuse in the building. Oh, my, but those dear, dear boys went right on playing just as if nothing had happened.
Oh, really, Mrs. Uppington? But how could they read their music in the dark?
Oh, my dear, that's exactly what I asked Dr. Mills. And he said in his most delightful manner,
Oh, yes.
Don't worry about it, babe. Those muds can't even read music with the lights on. Oh, really? I thought that was just too gay. Or am I being a silly girl?
I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised.
I must be going. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Abigail.
Isn't she ridiculous, McGee? All the time she's back in that symphony orchestra, she's dreaming about Billy Mills.
Well, that's always been a pretty romantic spot, down by the old Mills Dream. Don't you get it, Molly? I said down by the...
Ain't funny, McGee.
Oh, well, it was spontaneous. Where was I?
Say, do you really think you can get all this stuff back in that closet?
Why, sure I can, and I don't want anybody touching these things either, but me. They're too valuable.
Oh.
I'd have had it done an hour ago if I hadn't been interfered with.
All right, you do it then.
Huh?
I've got some work to do in the kitchen.
All right, I'll get it. Dad, drat it. I wish somebody'd crawl in through the window just for the novelty of it. Come in.
Oh, there, McGee.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, just thought I'd come by and tell you that... Well, my goodness, what's all this?
Oh, just something out of my closet. I'm straightening it out. Hey, Gildersleeve, put that hatchet down.
I'll do no such thing. That's my Boy Scout hatchet you borrowed last summer.
Dad, drat it, it ain't nothing of the kind. That's my Boy Scout hatchet. Look at the insignia on the handle there. Owl Patrol.
Well, I belong to the Owl Patrol myself.
Oh, yeah? You and the Owl Patrol. Why, you don't even know the password of the Owl Patrol.
Who?
Well, somebody must have told you. Listen here, Gildersleeve, I bet you don't know a thing about scouting.
I do, too. I was an Eagle Scout with 26 merit badges.
Go on. Can you tie a sheep shank? Can you imitate the mating cry of the chimney swallow? Can you tell which way is north when you're lost in the woods?
Certainly.
How?
I face south and then turn around quick.
Oh, Gildersleeve, if you're really a scout, you can do your daily good turn by scramming out of here and letting me finish putting this stuff back in the closet.
Well, all right, McGee. You're sure that isn't my hatchet?
On my word of honor as a member of the Owl Patrol, Gildersleeve.
Well, all right, McGee. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Say.
Huh?
Give me the password again, will you?
Who?
Who?
Boy Scout, that guy couldn't build a fire in a haymow by rubbing 2 sticks of dynamite together. Oh, well, I gotta get the rest of that. Looks like about all of it. Yep. It's all packed back in. Boy, what a job. Hey, Molly! Molly!
What is it, Mr. Davis?
Look, I got all that stuff back in the closet, all straightened out.
Splendid, McGee, splendid.
And after this one, you want something out of there, let me get it for you.
All right.
Yeah.
But now that you got the dictionary out of there, why don't you leave it out? We may need it again.
Oh.
What's the matter?
I forgot to leave it out. I packed the dictionary back in there.
Oh, heavenly day.
Now, hey, now you stay away from there. I know exactly where I put it.
Well, okay.
I can get it out without... Molly!
Yes?
I found the dictionary. How do you spell annihilated?
Fibber and Molly will be back in just a moment. In the meantime, I'd like to read you a brief letter received recently from a gentleman in New York State. For the past 15 years, he writes, I have installed many linoleum floors, as I am a linoleum layer. Most every time upon completion of an installation, I am asked this question: how can I preserve or improve the finish? Well, since Glow Coat has been on the market, I have used it with perfect satisfaction, so I always answer, use Johnson's Glow Coat and no other. Well, now, coming from a man who knows his linoleum, that is a pretty sound recommendation. Glow Coat does preserve and improve linoleum, whether it's new or old. It makes linoleum last longer, makes it easy to keep clean, brings out the colors. And remember, there's no rubbing or buffing with Glow Coat, because it's self-polishing. You simply apply and let dry. In 20 minutes, your floor is sparkling with new beauty. Try Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat on your floors. Order a can tomorrow.
Now, look, McGee, that junk of yours is positively not going back into that closet.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Wrong routine.
Well, all right, then. But if it does go back in there, I'll arrange it myself. Now, you keep your hands off it this time.
You going to do it all by yourself?
I am.
Fine. As the fat lady says when she took off her corset, that lets me out.
McGee.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coats present Marion and Tim Jordan as Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, the King's Men, and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with I'm Just Wild About Harry.
Here's a pleasant pastoral picture of suburban life. The squire of 79 Wistful Vista standing on the front lawn, garden hose in hand, gracefully sprinkling the grass and exchanging greetings with passing neighbors. But you know, and we know, that things can't stay as peaceful as this. With Fibber McGee and Molly.
Kind of decent of me to give you little crocuses and dandelions to drink on the house, ain't it? Why don't some of you run around and see what the boys in the backyard will have? Oh, I had a cow pony, and his name was Danny, with the F-bar embranded right on his hip bone. Oh, hi, Nick.
Oh, hello there, Peter. I'm glad to see you watering the horticulture because you know why?
No, why?
On account of what the old poetry is saying. You know, 30 days has October, and the grass is also thirsty in May. Because if you don't keep the grass looking green, then what have you got in your yard? Hey, hey. Well, I'll see you later, Fizzard, if I don't look out.
So long, Nick. What have you got in your yard? Hey, hey. As a poet, the Populus reminds me of Tennyson. Except that Tennyson is dead all over. Now, take it easy there now, you little geraniums. I'll take care of you in a minute. There's plenty of more water.
Hi, Mr. McGee. What you doing, huh?
Oh, hello there, little girl. Well, what does it look like I'm doing?
Sprinkling the grass.
Well, then why Jack?
Well, because you're such a faker. When I see you doing something, I always wonder what you're really up to, I betcha.
You do, eh? Well, this is really on the up and up, sis. If I don't do this, the grass will get scorched, and if the grass gets scorched, my wife will be burned up, too. You catch on to it, sis?
Oh, sure. But, Mr. McGee, why does sprinkling the grass make it stay green? Why does it? The water isn't green.
Well, I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Well, sir?
I just love to know, I betcha.
Good. Now, here's what
I bet this is going to be awful interesting.
Yeah, it is. You see, sis, a grass is...
I can hardly wait to hear it.
Dad, Braddock, how can I tell you if you keep interrupting me?
You can't.
Well, all right, then. See that you...
I won't interrupt anymore, betcha.
Well, that's fine. As I was going to say...
Because I really want to know all about it.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, sir...
Is this the beginning?
Yes, this is the beginning. The 7th beginning, to be exact. Now, look, sis. The reason grass stays nice and green when you sprinkle it is on account of the cause for the following reasons. A, grass is a very smart vegetable. B, it is also an ambitious vegetable. C...
Yes.
Huh?
Sure, I see.
Well, being ambitious, all the little blades of grass want to grow up to be a great big vegetable, like a tree. So laying there on the lawn all day long, looking up at the trees, and wishing they were trees, too, they turn green with envy. See how it works out?
Well, personally, I think it's a lot of malarkey.
What you mean?
Well, gee, actually, grass contains a chemical substance known to science as chlorophyll.
Huh?
Then the actinic rays of the sun, by the process known as photosynthesis, develops the chlorophyll to the point where it becomes visually evident as a distinct green coloration. So you can take that green with envy stuff and spread it on the grass. Yeah, that ought to really make it grow. So long.
With summer just around the corner, you're going to be using your car more than usual. Now, every time you put your foot on that old accelerator and start down the street, how'd you like to hear everybody saying, well, the Smiths certainly keep their car looking like $1 million. Now, is that difficult? No, it isn't. Not as long as you have a can of that sensational new wax polish, Johnson's Car New. Let me tell you briefly the story of Car New. First, it does two jobs at once. It cleans and wax polishes at the same time in one easy operation. And second, it actually takes less than half the time cleaning and wax polishing used to take. Many car owners have told us enthusiastically that they did the job in 1 hour. If your car is very dirty, it may take you a little more, but you'll still say Car New is a miracle worker. And third, it's very inexpensive. So you see, the old bugaboo's hard work and high cost are gone. Thousands of the country's leading service stations use Car New for polishing customers' cars. Then why wait? Get your can of Johnson's Car New tomorrow from your regular wax dealer or your auto supply store or filling station.
Take it easy there, Grassy. Uncle Fibber will see that you all get some water.
Ah, there, McGee. Good day. Sprinkling the lawn?
Who, me? Why, no, Gildersleeve, I ain't. The curbstone was on fire, and I'm putting it out.
That's very good, McGee. You're about as subtle as a bass drum.
Okay, I'm a bass drum. Now beat it.
All right, then. Turn that hose the other way and let me pass.
See if you can run under it without getting wet, Gildy.
I won't do it, McGee. I didn't come here to play games. I've had a hard day at the office, and I'm tired.
Well, it'll do you good to relax. Come on, I'll give you till I count 3 to get past me. 1, 2...
No, cut it out, McGee. Stop it.
Hurry up, Gildersleeve. Out of the way there.
Hey, cut that out. It's cold. Stop it. You're getting me all wet, McGee.
I always said you were a big sponge, Gildersleeve. Now let's see how much you can soak up.
By George, this is the last straw, McGee. I'm coming after you.
Oh, yeah? You want this hose right in your puss? Hey, what are you going to do with that knife?
I'm going to cut this hose into bits. That's what I'm going to do.
Now, wait a minute, Gildersleeve. I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Well, you're not me, thank goodness. One side there, McGee.
Hey, Gildersleeve, don't cut that hose.
Fix this. Yeah. I guess that'll fix you, McGee. You'll never sprinkle anybody with that hose again.
I won't, eh? Well, neither will you.
What's that?
It's your hose. I borrowed it this afternoon. Hey, McGee! Me now. Cut it out, Gildersleeve. Stop! Leave it alone,
Get that guy. Wait a minute, McGee.
Hey, Molly.
Don't say a word, McGee. I saw the whole thing through the window. Aren't you ashamed, turning the hose on Mr. Gildersleeve?
Boy, was that fun. Old Gildy was wetter than a mad hen.
Well, now, you had no business drenching him, McGee. What if he should catch cold?
Oh, don't worry, he won't. Even a germ wouldn't associate with that guy.
Well, now, just the same, don't antagonize him too much. Why, he could tear you apart like an artichoke.
Who, that guy? Go on, I could slap that mug down with a wet noodle. I say, if I ever stop... Say, Fibber. Well, what do you want, Wilcox? So, as the guy says when he sat on the bee, I have a steep-seated suspicion.
Well, you seem a little perturbed, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, look, I just talked to Gildersleeve, and he said he was going to pin Fibber's ears back.
Oh, he said that, did he? Why, that big dirigible. A few more cracks like that, and I'll knock him flat on a policeman's feet.
Now, take it easy, dearie. Remember now, McGee, you're not the man you used to be, if you ever were.
Yes, and don't forget, Gildersleeve was once an intercollegiate boxing champion.
Oh, pooey on him. If he thinks... What'd you say?
I said he used to be intercollegiate boxing champion. Oh. But don't worry about it. Why, if anything happens, I can have an ambulance over here in 6 minutes.
Oh, heavenly days, an ambulance.
An ambulance? You mean one of them cars that runs along in front of a cheap lawyer?
Sure. The driver is a great friend of mine. I sold him some of that sensational new wax polish Johnson's Car New for his ambulance, and he thinks it's marvelous. Says it's as wonderful for cars as Glow Coat is for floors and linoleum. And it is.
Well, now, isn't it nice, dearie, that you'll be hauled away to the accident ward by a good Johnson customer?
Oh. Boy, is he a good Johnson customer. Why, when he found out, Fibber, that Johnson's Car New was a double-action product that cleans and polishes in one operation, he was amazed and delighted. You simply apply it, let it dry, and wipe it off. And there's your ambulance, looking like new.
My ambulance? Now, look, Wilcox, I don't want it.
So he said to me, pal, he said. He always calls me pal now. Pal, he said, just for introducing me to Johnson's Car New, my ambulance is at the service of you and your friends, anytime. So just call me if anything happens, Fibber. So long, Molly.
So, Mr. Gildersleeve was a boxing champion.
Oh,
Well, as one of Dietrich's stockings said to the other, you certainly got yourself out on a beautiful limb this time, dearie.
Yeah, but as the fly says, when he fell into the preserves, I've been in much worse jams than this.
Oh, you have you?
Yeah.
Well, come and look out this window.
Okay. Huh? Where?
Look out there.
Uh-oh. There's Gildersleeve with a punching bag. Oh, well, nothing wrong with a guy getting a little exercise, I guess, is there?
Yeah. I'm afraid you can't laugh this off, dearie.
Hmm?
He's getting ready for you, and you know it.
Oh, dear.
Just look at the muscles on it.
Oh, don't.
Oh, did you see that, McGee? He knocked the bag clear over the fence.
I saw it. Just a lucky punch, though. You know, Molly, I've been thinking we ought to get out of town for a few days. Take a little drive somewhere. And do us both good.
No, we don't, McGee. You're not going anywhere till you see this thing through.
Oh.
You've made your bed, now don't crawl under it.
Who's crawling? I ain't afraid of that
Well,
guy.
now, there's only one way we might avoid any trouble.
Huh? How? What is it? What is it? What is it?
Oh, here, calm yourself. You're like a boy with a soda grasping at straws. Now, look, go over to Mr. Gildersleeve and apologize.
No.
Tell him you're sorry you turned the hose on him.
I won't. Well, all right. I'll do it.
Fine. Now, you run along, dearie. Here. What are you doing taking that baseball bat along?
Well, if he wants to be friendly, you'll see us out in the backyard playing ball. Otherwise, I'll see you later, Molly.
Me. If I know Mr. Gildersleeve, McGee'll never get to first base, even with that bat. Come in.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. Miller. Oh, no, Mr. McGee?
No, Mrs. Uppington. He's gone next door to see Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, really? Well, I'd better go over there and see them both at once.
What about, Mrs. Uppington?
Well, the Parent Teachers Association is devoting its next meeting to physical culture and the benefits it will give to younger children.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and we wanted Mr. Gildersleeve and Mr. McGee to appear on the platform.
Oh, well, I'm afraid McGee isn't exactly the...
You see, Mr. Gildersleeve is such a splendid example of a man who keeps fit, bulging muscles, good color, intensely active. And Mr. McGee is, well, he would exemplify the other side of the picture.
I see.
You know, Mr. Gildersleeve is the strongest man in Wistful Vista. Why, he can actually tie a knot in an iron horseshoe.
Well, what of it? McGee isn't so bad either. Why, I've seen him tear a telephone number in two with his bare hand. Well, I'll tell him what you wanted, Mrs. Uppington.
Oh, thank you. Tell him that he and Mr. Gildersleeve will stand side by side on the stage with signs on their chests. Mr. Gildersleeve will read, "Do you want to look like this?"
And what will McGee's sign say?
Or this. Oh, well, now, don't forget to tell him, my dear. Goodbye.
Poor McGee. I'm afraid he doesn't know what he's up against. Still, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. On the other hand, the smaller they are, the quicker they fall.
Oh, the moon shines. Oh, hi, Molly.
McGee, what happened? Tell me quick.
What happened about what?
For goodness sakes, about your fight with Mr. Gildersleeve.
Huh? Oh, that. Well, he refused to accept my apology, so we agreed to fight it out, man to man.
But where? When? How? My goodness, McGee, don't you realize that...
Maybe that's him now. You better clear space in the other room, Molly.
I'll do no such a thing. If there's any fighting in here, you'll do it outside. Come in.
Now, wait a minute, Gildersleeve. Remember, we agreed to... Oh, hi, old-timer.
Hello, Johnny. Hello, daughter. You're going to have a fight with old Gildersleeve, Johnny. Need a trainer?
No, I don't.
What he needs is a train. One that leaves town as soon as possible.
That's pretty good, Dory. In fact, that's very good. But it still ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, says, I see where they're going to put out moving pictures and nickel slot machines. That's so, says t'other feller. Wonder how it'll seem to come in at the beginning of a picture. Sure you don't want a trainer, Johnny?
No, I don't. I don't need a trainer. I'll slug that guy till he tinkles like a pay telephone.
You pretty handy with your dukes, Johnny?
Am I? Why, shucks, old-timer. I've always been a scrapper. Why, even in kindergarten, I could bowl over the toughest guy in the room with one punch. Punch Bowl McGee, I was known as in them days. Punch Bowl McGee, pronounced by press and public, the pugilistic pixie of the pedigreed paperweight pug, pummeling pudgy palookas, pulverizing proboscises and paralyzing plug uglies, pounding poor preliminary pork and beaners to a pulp with a peppy pip of a pop, positively a peach of a punk that plunks the punks on their piazzas, the ping-pong pop of the pineapple punch, a peculiar poke that petrifies the pit of the paunch of the pillow pushers who plop to the platform too pop-eyed to protest, prancing and posing and full of ambition, but say something, boys, I'm out of condition.
The King's Men singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Swing low, sweet chariot. Swing low, sweet chariot. Coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot. Coming for to carry me home. I looked way over Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. What did I see? What did I see? Coming, coming for to carry me home. A swing band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. No carriage, swing low, sweet chariot, swing low, sweet chariot, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, swing low, sweet chariot, coming down the Milky Way to carry me away to heaven. Swing on down, 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 swing low, sweet chariot for me. Oh, hallelujah, I'm awaiting to ride to heaven in a blaze of glory. I want to travel that road. Swing low, sweet chariot. Swing
Here, dearie, if you're going to fight Mr. Gildersleeve, you better get busy. Hadn't you better be doing something about it?
What you mean, such as what?
Well, do a little road work. Shadow box. Soak your feet in salt water. Harden yourself up a bit. Maybe I'd better run out and cut you a short length of clothesline.
Clothesline? What'll I do with that?
Skip it. I don't know why I should worry about it if you're going to stand there.
Come in.
Good afternoon, my dear. And hello to you, Moose Jaw.
Oh, hi, Boomer. What are you up to, besides no good?
Well, I hear that you're about to engage in a fracas with Humpty Dumpty next door, Shortcake.
What's that got to do with you, Horatio?
Such belligerency. What makes you so bellicose, Bellicose?
None of your business. Speak your little piece and get out.
Gladly. I didn't come here to bandy words, bandy legs. Thought you'd be interested in a helping of accident insurance.
I wouldn't be interested, Boomer. Any company that would have you as a salesman would have a crook for its president.
Sir, I won't have you talk that way about my dear father. Now, just allow me to show you one of our policies, Bug-Eye.
Make it snappy, Boomer. I haven't got all day.
In a hurry to get your ears thickened, are you? Well, let me see. Insurance policy. Had it here a minute ago. Here's a $2 parking ticket on a horse that parked too long at the post. Here's a small musical saw. Very handy for cutting off hillbilly programs. Floor plan for the First National Bank. Never could find the men's washroom in there. Horn ticket for a 16-tube radio, which I discovered was portable, thank goodness. Oh, here's a joke about the Grand Canyon. There's a beautiful crack. And a guest towel marked, please return to Sing Sing. Who, me or the towel? Here's an old cigar butt. My goodness, have I stooped that low? What's this? Why, it's so worn out I can hardly read. Oh, yes, a check for short beer. Well, fancy that. No insurance policy.
Well, it's just as well for you, Mr. Boomer. I don't think Mr. McGee is a very good insurance risk right now.
I had that in mind, blonde, buxom, and beautiful.
Oh, my.
When Brother Gildersleeve gets through knocking the frosting off your little cupcake here, I was going to split the payoff with you 50-50. For one swift premium, we'd have collected on that ham advertisement.
Why, that big crook...
Now, never mind that, McGee. Tell me more about this fight with Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, we just agreed to lock ourselves into a room, take off our coats, and go to it.
What? But, McGee, don't you realize that he's twice as big as you?
Now, look here, McGee.
Now, wait a minute, Gildersleeve, wait a minute. We agreed to let it go.
I'm not talking about that, McGee. I just happen to remember that you ruined my new garden hose.
I never done no such a thing, Gildersleeve. You cut it to pieces yourself.
Well, how did I know it was mine?
How did you know it was yours? Gildersleeve, if you ain't the dumbest, egg-headedest...
Hose cuttingest.
Mrs. McGee, I'll thank you not to give him any suggestions.
Now, you quit picking on my wife, Gildersleeve.
I'm not picking on your wife, you little biological, believe it or not. If you had the IQ of a Japanese clam digger...
Now, here. What does IQ mean?
Intelligent quotient.
Oh, so I'm a quotient, am I? Why, you great...
Oh, here, boys, please.
I took all I'm going to took off of this bazooka boy's boat, O'Malley. The time has come for action.
You're a hard man, McGee. If that's the way you feel about it, take off your coat.
Okay. Wait a minute, Gildersleeve. You forget. There's a lady present.
Oh, don't mind me, boys. I'm no lady.
You are, too.
She is not.
I am, too.
Oh, trying to put me in the middle again, are you, Gildersleeve? Okay, that does it. Come on in the other room and we'll settle this thing once and for all.
All right, McGee. You're asking for it.
Asking for it. I'm demanding it. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, heavenly days. It's come at last. I never thought they'd actually get beyond the you are too I am not stage. I wonder if I ought to call for help. Oh, will you listen to that?
Remember, McGee, this is to a finish.
I'll say it to a finish.
Get that chair out of the way.
Okay. Move that table over this way.
All right, McGee. Let's go.
I'm ready.
And I don't mind telling you, I'm going to give you such a pushing around you.
Oh, I think this has gone far enough. I won't have them wrecking my house, I won't. Now, look here, you two. Well, what on earth?
It's too late to interfere now, Molly.
Yes. We're all set to go, Mrs. McGee. Ready, McGee?
Ready, Gildersleeve. There's the checkers. Which do you want, red or black?
be back in just a moment. When your friends come in your front door, what's the first thing they see? What gives them their first impression of your home and of you as a housekeeper? It's usually your floors. Now, if those floors have a mellow, gleaming waxed beauty, then you have something to be proud of. If they're dull and shabby, then you needn't expect many compliments. And you'd better call your dealer and put in an emergency order for genuine Johnson's wax. One application of Johnson's wax will make a tremendous difference, both in the appearance of the floors and in protection against wear. Johnson's wax seals up the pores, guarding the finish against scuffing feet and dirt. A Johnson wax floor is more beautiful with every application of wax. It's easy to clean and never needs scrubbing again. For over 50 years, Johnson's wax has been giving protection and beauty to floors, furniture, and woodwork everywhere. It's sold in practically every country in the world. Order some yourself tomorrow. You'll find more than 100 uses for this labor-saving product listed on the package.
Your move, McGee.
It is not. I just moved.
You did not. I just moved this man over to here.
What? Why, you great big bull fiddle, you never did...
Look here, McGee.
Oh, dear, this is where I came in. I'm going to bed, boys.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Float Coat, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Pet Milk Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. First evaporated milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie and directed by Max Hutto with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Today is National Pancake Day. And that reminds me to remind you to enjoy a pancake breakfast tomorrow morning. Make plenty of them, and make them the delicious, melt-in-your-mouth Pet Milk way. Just use your favorite pancake mix, and instead of ordinary milk, use Pet Milk mixed half and half with water. Once you taste pancakes made with Pet Milk, you'll never want to make them the old way again. And with butter and syrup on the table and Pet Milk handy for your coffee, what a wonderful way to start the day. Right now, grocery stores are featuring the everyday items needed for making delicious pancakes. Stores are also featuring Mary Lee Taylor's famous pancake recipe. So, help yourself to the recipe, take along some Pet Milk, and give that family of yours a real treat tomorrow morning. Pancakes made with Pet Milk. They sure are good. There's one thing at the McGee household that really sells like hotcakes, and that's hotcakes. So listen to a super salesman selling the idea of breakfast in bed to a lady who would rather cook her own, as we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
So you just tuck your little tootsies back in the hay, Tootsie, and relax while I get dressed, Tootsie. I'm going to bring you breakfast in bed.
Oh, no.
Yep.
No, McGee, really, that's a lot of trouble. Don't bother
Now,
to do
don't
that.
you worry. I'm going to do this thing up big, kiddo. I'll even get the tea wagon down out of the attic and serve your hotcakes a la carte.
Now, look, sweetheart, you're wonderful to want to, but
You betcha, and you got it coming, too. You deserve it. By George, I don't pamper you enough.
Oh, you do, too, McGee, constantly.
Yeah? You really think I pamper you?
Oh, pamper me. I thought you said hamper me.
You're going to love this, kiddo, and so am I. This is the kind of a thing that a guy, when he's got the type wife I happen to have got, and he likes to cook anyhow and don't do more of it oftener, he's missing a great bet. Throw me my shirt off of the bed head, will you?
Here. But, McGee, now, I just as soon get up, really. I can't eat lying in bed anyway.
Huh?
The coffee always goes up my nose. I'll get up and
No,
go down.
sir. You stay right where you darn are. I'll bring you a straw with your coffee.
Great. And if I can find a camel, I'll break his back with it. Really, now, I don't...
You've been a good kid, Molly. I ought to do more stuff like this. I don't bring you breakfast in bed often enough.
Oh, yes, you do, dearie. You do indeed.
When was the last time?
1937. And that's often enough.
Well, anyhow, what I plan...
Now, you remember you walked right through that door there with my breakfast?
Yeah?
Dropped the butter, stepped on it, and I got my first egg shampoo sunny side up.
Now, I'm no amateur when it comes to food, you know. I always did have a reputation for being a kind of an epitaph.
You mean an epicure, don't you? Someone who knows food?
Yeah, I guess I do. Well, what's an epitaph?
That's a message on a tombstone. Oh, what a thought.
Well, here I go, kiddo. You just snuggle down there and take life easy now. I'll have that dough rolled out and cut up into pancakes before you can say that's not the way to do it.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
You take yourself a little snooze now, Mrs. McGee. The chef will awaken you when breakfast is served.
Well, there he goes. Bless his little ham-handed heart. Take a snooze, Mrs. McGee, he says. Mm-hmm. I have news for you, Mrs. McGee. You just as well get up off your back and get your house coat on, because he'll be yelling up to know where something is before you can eat
Hey,
it.
Molly!
There he goes. Yes, dearie?
Does this electric timer on the stove work?
Did you try it?
No.
Yes.
Okay. You go back to sleep, Sister.
This would be very nice if I could take a little nap. But every time I close my eyes, I see a picture of what that kitchen will look like when he gets...
Hey, Molly!
Yes, McGee?
Have we got a mixing bowl?
Several of them. Use the big white one.
Which big white one? There's two big white ones just alike. Which one is the mixing bowl?
Heavenly day.
Never mind, there's only one now. You just left, kiddo. Did I wake you up?
Oh, no. I'm still asleep, thank you. Maybe I am asleep at that. Maybe this is all just a horrible dream. Maybe if I pinch myself... Ow!
What?
No. No such luck. I'd just as well get my house coat on and go down there. Oh, gee. What a day this is going to be. He's going to give me breakfast in bed if he ruins the house and wrecks my nerves doing it. Honest to goodness, somebody ought to make a radio show out of this. They really should. I guess nobody'd ever believe it, though it's too impossible.
Hey, what'd you come downstairs for, Molly? You ain't supposed to be out here. You're having breakfast in bed. Now, trot back upstairs.
I get lonesome up there by myself. Sometimes nobody speaks to me for 3 or 4 seconds at a time. It's those long silences.
Well, the rest will do you good, Molly. The knowledge that the preparation of your breakfast is in the expert, loving hands of...
Oh, dear. Now, who's that, McGee? My hair's all up in curlers. I don't look very presentable.
Oh, that's only Ole from the Elks Club. Come in.
Hello, Ole. Come on in if I don't frighten you. I haven't had time to take my hair down yet.
Oh, don't worry, Missus. You look wonderful.
Well, thank you.
You know, I got a daughter who practices putting on lipstick without a mirror, and a sister-in-law who makes her own Sunday eyelashes out of a toothbrush. And last night, my missus tries a mud pack on one side of the face only, so only don't scare so easy.
Hi, Ole.
Oh, hello, McGee. What's cooking?
I am. Hotcakes. Molly's having her breakfast in bed.
In bed? Where do you sleep, Missus? In the sink?
Well, I'm not supposed to be down here, Ole. I'm going back up in a minute. Say, how's everyone at your house? All well, are they?
Oh, sure. Everybody's fine, Missus. We got a letter from my oldest boy, Lars. He's in the Navy, you know.
Yeah, how'd you like it, Ole?
Well, he says the only thing he don't like about it, there's too many fellas in blue serge suits telling him what to do.
Well, that's the Navy for you, Ole. That's one thing you don't have in the Army.
People giving you orders?
No, blue serge suits. When I was in the Army, in the First World War, the big war, we had...
Look, dearie, I've heard this, so if you boys will excuse me, I'll go back upstairs.
Good. Now, you crawl back in bed and... Oh, hey, while you're down here, where do we keep the orange juice?
In the oranges.
Oh, in the orange juice.
Anything else you need, dearie, just call up every 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, Tootsie. You rest. I got to get busy here, Ole. Give me a hand, will you?
Sure, McGee. Shake. It was nice meeting
No.
you. I got to go home.
No. I mean, hold this cookbook a minute while I get my stuff together. Here, read me this recipe. Right here while I get the stuff out.
All right. Let's see. First, let's take 2/3 of a cup.
2/3 of a cup. Okay, I'll use this cup here. This piece here must be about 2/3. What else does it say?
It says a pancake mix. 2/3 of a cup of pancake mix.
Oh, well, look, I can handle it from here on out, Ole. No sense in letting you louse up the recipe when I can do it myself.
Billy Mills, the orchestra, and My Heart Cries for You.
see. After I get the stuff mixed good, I'll need... Oh, say, Molly.
Yes, lover.
Have we got a hot, slightly greased iron skillet anyplace?
A what?
Just to cook them on a hot, slightly greased. Oh, I know. I can take a cold skillet and heat it and then grease it.
Very intelligent.
Oh, thanks, kiddo. That's the way I'll do that. More than one way of skinning the cat. Now, look, I promised you your breakfast in bed. Why don't you go on back to bed till I get everything ready?
Because I love my little kitchen, dearie. Look at it. When you get through in here, I won't be able to find this sink or... Wait a minute. Where is the sink?
Oh, it's right over here. Underneath this pile of pans.
Oh, it's just as plain as anything,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Gosh, you think I'm so dumb about cooking, I pull out the plumbing when I make a simple batch of pancakes and sausage?
Well, I don't know whether to answer that like a loving wife or an honest woman.
Well, gee whiz, kiddo, you worry too much. Now, let me see. Where'd I put my MLT cookbook?
MLT? Mary Lee Taylor?
No, McGee's Luscious Tidbits. Oh, here. See, to make 27 4-inch pancakes. You like little pancakes or big ones, kiddo?
I think the 4-inch pancakes are just the right size.
They're too dainty for me. I prefer them about the size of manhole covers. In fact, I made some out in Cheyenne, Wyoming once in 1913 that they're still using for manhole covers. These ones I'm making here, boy,
Somebody's at the front door, McGee. Come in.
Who is it?
It is I.
We're out here in the kitchen, Mr. Mayor. Come on out.
Hey, how'd you know that was the mayor of the city?
Well, he's the only one we know who was educated enough and polite enough to say, it's I.
Oh.
Everybody else we know would say, who'd you think, Louis the 14th? Or something he... Oh, hello there, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Molly. Hello, McGee.
Hi, Latriv.
Well, guess you in the apron.
Yeah. Going to give Molly her breakfast in bed, Latriv. And being that this is National Pancake Day, the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday, well, I thought it was only patriotic for me to whip up some pancakes.
Well, I'll see that the United States government is informed of your loyal devotion.
Yes.
According to the recipe he's using, Mr. Mayor.
He uses a recipe?
Why, sure.
I always thought he was one of those rough and ready cooks who always says, I never use a recipe. I just guess at the proportions and I never have a failure. They never do have a failure either. You always get sick.
You stick around, son, and fling a flang into a flock of flapjacks. Mine are so light. Mine are so light, you gotta hold them down with a salt shaker. You like big pancakes or little pancakes, Latriv?
Well, it depends on circumstances. When I'm out moose hunting, I like big pancakes.
Oh, do you hunt moose, Mr. Mayor? Where?
In Canada.
I never shot a moose myself. They good eating?
Well, I don't know. I just keep the antlers, send the meat to some worthy institution, and the remainder to a glue factory.
Oh. Do they make glue out of moose?
No, not glue. Mucilage. But for simple, quiet breakfast, McGee, I like the little dollar-sized pancake. In fact, there's only one thing I'd like better, and that's a pancake-sized dollar.
Well, they must be making our dollars out of batter now. Sure ain't much dough in them. I always said...
Milkman! Ah, there's the milkman.
Hi, Cal. Hello, Molly. Hi, Honor.
Hello.
Am I intruding? What's going on?
Just doing a little cooking, Junior, that's all.
A little cooking, he says.
Take a look around the kitchen, Mr. Wilcox. What would you guess he was preparing?
Well, let me see. From the number of dishes and pots and pans and the wax paper and paper towels and mixers and spoons and stuff, I'd say you were making chicken a la king for the Legion Convention.
Cut it out. I'm just fixing Molly her breakfast in bed. Look, pancake batter. Look, country sausage. Look, sir. Look, butter, that's all. What's so complicated about that there?
Well, as the man says, it ain't the ingredients, it's what you puts into the ingredients.
Well, I'm afraid McGee is a perfectionist. Every time he cooks, he makes a perfect idiot of himself.
Oh, yeah? Well, by George...
Hey, wait a minute. What's this?
That's our Mary Lee Taylor cookbook.
Why, of course. So what's the matter with the way this boy is cooking? He's doing great.
I am?
Certainly. Oh, naturally, he makes it 10 times as complicated as this simple recipe.
Why, naturally.
But this is a wonderful recipe.
Sure.
And with a pet milk recipe, you can't go wrong. Pancakes with sausage patties.
Sir.
Boy, look at that illustration. Yes, beautiful. Molly, tear out the illustration, pour a little syrup on it, and go back to bed. It's the only way. No. Now, look, Fibber is absolutely on the right track. You can't miss. Do you give track odds on that? Now, wait. Look at this recipe. Plain pancake mix, 2 cups.
That's it?
Stir in gradually 1 cup fat milk mixed with water.
That's right.
Now, what could be easier than that?
Well, sure.
You see, the value of fat milk in cooking is that it adds that good, rich flavor to your foods.
That's right.
It'll pack these easy-to-make pancakes just full of good, whole milk minerals.
Delicious.
And in these days of high food prices, fat milk is a family favorite because it's economical.
That's it.
Costs less generally than any other form of milk. And fat milk is so rich, it's...
Now, who do you suppose that is?
Who is that?
Who'd you think? Louis the 14th?
That's the old-timer.
Hey, can you wait a minute, old-timer? I was right in the middle of a story.
No, can't wait, kid.
Okay. Come on in.
Hello. Go on with your narrative, son.
So, get some fat milk from your grocer today.
Well, that's a very interesting yarn, son.
Why, George?
What's everybody doing? Out here in the kitchen?
Well, I'm having my breakfast in bed.
Where do you sleep, daughter? In the sink?
She's going back to bed as soon as McGee gets his pancakes made, old-timer. That's what he's doing, making pancakes. In case you thought from looking around that the Montreal hockey team had been warming up in here.
Okay, everybody, scoff at me, deride at me, laugh at me if you want to. But by George, when I get these pancakes...
Pancakes. Do I love them?
Yeah.
And do I know how to make them?
Oh, had a lot of practice, Mr. Oldtimer. Huh?
Daughter, I made pancakes before you was born. Out west, that was. I was chuck wagon cook for the old Lazy Bee.
The Lazy Bee?
The old Lazy Bee. Named after my sister, Beatrice. Laziest woman in the Oklahoma Territory. Cross-eyed from when she was 29 years old. Had a fly in her nose and was too lazy to brush it off. Just sat and watched it till she sprang her eye muscle.
You was a chuck wagon cook?
You said it, Johnny. Well, sir, my recipe for poncho pie...
Poncho pie?
That's what they call my pancakes, daughter.
Oh?
Shape of a pie and tasted like a poncho. Well, sir, I mixed me a handful of acorns into a scoop of cornmeal, ground them onto a hot rock and mixed with rainwater, then stick them into hot ashes for 5 hours, then pick them out, cool them off, pick the acorns out of the pancakes, throw away the pancakes, shuck the acorns, and eat the hulls. Then I had me a recipe for broiling beaver tail at the Indian style.
King's Band and Yumpty Dumpty Dido.
Yumpty Dumpty Diddly-doo, we've got a prescription for you. What little tune sends you over the moon? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. What do you sing when you feel like a king? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. Sing along with me, oh so merrily, and then with a shout take a breath and give out with the Yumpty Dumpty Dido. What do you hum when your heart's on the pump? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. What pulls you out when you're sour and kraut? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. When you're feeling blue, this tune pulls you through. So don't be a droop, fill your lungs, give a whoop with the Yumpty Dumpty Dido. What has the sound of a merry-go-round? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. What has a beat that'll go to your feet? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. Doctors, sigh for it. Babies, cry for it. It's wonderful news. You can now chew the blues with the Yumpty Dumpty Dido. What do they sing when the wedding bells ring? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. What do they shout when the news has gone out? Yumpty Dumpty Dido. Seal it with a kiss and remember this: the world's on a string when you're happily singing Yumpty Dumpty Yumpty Dumpty Yumpty Dumpty Dido.
Look, Molly, this is the third time since noon that you've come trotting out here to the kitchen. The third time since noon. You will. How can I bring you breakfast in bed if you won't stay in bed?
Look, sweetheart, I'm starving. 2:30.
You've got to be patient, Tootsie. It won't be long now. I'll have these pancakes cooking before... don't eat that cracker.
But, McGee,
Come on now, put it back. That's a good girl. Gee whiz, you don't want to dull your appetite now. At the last minute.
Dull it. My appetite, dearie, has an edge you could shave with. You could even cut a throat with it. Oh, and this kitchen.
Well, it won't be long now, baby, and I know just how you feel. I got so weak myself working here that I finally had to fix me a couple of ham sandwiches and a pot of coffee to... keep up my own strength.
Oh, McGee.
I'd have had these pancakes cooking before now, only I ran into a little trouble with the batter.
Ran into trouble with the batter?
Mm-hmm.
You look like you just ran into the batter. Indeed. Why, it'll take you an hour to scrape yourself off, dear. You have to...
Oh, that's nothing, kiddo. That's just normal splashage for me. Some cooks spill stuff, but when I get to work, I splash. You see? Hey, McGee, Molly, anybody home?
Oh, it's Dr. Gamble. Out here, Doctor.
Oh, hello, Molly, and... Oh, no. Yep. And whatever you're winding up to say, Fatso, it's already been said. So sit down and shut up.
I won't make a comment.
Good.
I can well imagine as I look at you standing there with big blobs of white gunk in your hair all down your front and in your eyebrows, stirring a batch of goo that's too thick for wallpaper paste and too thin for plaster, that you must already have been described by your friends as looking like everything from a paper hanger after a 2-bucket fall off a scaffold to a pearl button diver in a starch factory. So I will refrain.
Thank you, Doctor.
What is it, Molly?
Pancakes, Doctor. He's fixing me breakfast in bed.
Breakfast at this hour?
The hour is a little indefinite, Doctor. In fact, 6 hours have gone by since he started this little project. We refer to it around here as Operation Hey Molly.
Well, it won't be long now, Sissy. Look at that batter. Ready to go.
Why don't you go with it, McGee? Look, I'll take Molly out and buy her some breakfast.
I'll take that.
No, sir. You just trot right back up to bed now, kiddo, while this little drama goes on to a happy ending. Next time the curtain goes up, it'll find you sitting up in bed, smacking your lips and saying, McGee, you're wonderful.
Well, I guess I can climb those stairs again.
Sure.
Slowly. But if it takes over 20 minutes more, bring me up a sharp knife and some salt and pepper.
What?
That moose head in the guest room looks juicier every time I see it.
All right, Doc. This is it. Turn on the gas there, boy.
Gladly.
No. Under the skillet, Lemonhead. Not the oven.
Oh, excuse me. I thought you wanted to stick your head in it.
Oh.
Personally, if I were you, I'd...
Well, how about it? You finally admit I know how to cook hotcakes? More syrup? Another sausage patty? Well, stop nodding your head and say something, will you?
Oh, McGee, you're wonderful. Those hotcakes.
Well, you ought to know, Barrel Belly. You must have ate 3 dozen of them.
They are sensational.
Yep.
I hope I can get up from this table. Ooh. I ought to call my office and... Hey, what about Molly?
Molly? Oh, Molly!
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, I almost forgot her. Oh, well, there's still plenty left for her. I'll run upstairs with a napkin and some silver, Doc. I'll prop her up in bed and get her all ready, and you pick the tray.
Right. What does she like on her pancakes, honey?
Syrup, sweetie.
She all ready? Hey.
She's sleeping like a baby, Doc. Poor kid. I don't have the heart to wake her now. Well, no use wasting all these pancakes.
I should say not. Sir, there's one for me.
One for me.
One for me.
One for me.
2 for me.
Yeah. More for
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. You know, no matter how gray the world looks when you get up in the morning, it's almost like seeing the sunshine to see a stack of golden brown pancakes on your plate at the breakfast table. And you know something? With Pet Milk and your favorite pancake mix, you can make the most delicious pancakes that ever made a husband say, mm-mm. Yes, just follow the directions on the pancake package, and instead of ordinary milk, use Pet Milk mixed with an equal amount of water. Oh, boy, what a difference. And no wonder. Pet Milk, remember, is sweet country milk with more than half the water taken out. So, when you mix Pet Milk with an equal amount of water, you're bound to have good, rich milk. Even richer than ordinary bottled milk. And, of course, that extra rich Pet Milk makes those pancakes extra good. How about pancakes for breakfast tomorrow? Extra good pancakes made the Pet Milk way.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't get any pancakes, kiddo, but I guess the sleep done you more good.
Well, how were they?
Oh, my gosh, wonderful. I and Doc ate 41 of them.
41?
A piece, that is. Doc says I'm a great cook. Gave me a B.S. degree when we finished eating.
A B.S. degree?
Mm-hmm.
Bachelor of Science?
Bicarbonate of soda. Good night.
Good night, all.
The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, brings you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? It isn't always the price tag that determines the value of a gift. Sometimes one that has cost the least means the most. As one bride-to-be discovers in the story of the week next Saturday morning on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program. Don't miss this true-to-life story. And don't miss Mary Lee Taylor's special husband-tested recipe for golden potato soup. A soup that's almost a meal in itself. Remember, for this double-feature program, tune in to your NBC station next Saturday morning for Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor.
Tomorrow, laugh with Groucho. Now enjoy Big Town on NBC.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by Martha Tilton and the King's Men, music by Billy Mills. The show opens with It's High Time. Fibber and Molly will be with us in just a minute. You know, we hear a lot about freedom and democracy these days. It's true that we take a lot of our present liberty for granted. Take this free competitive system of business, for instance. It has turned loose a great deal of inventive intelligence, of which you and I get the benefit in greater everyday comforts and conveniences and more attractive living. For example, the makers of Johnson's Wax didn't stop when they had perfected the original Johnson's Wax, the famous polish that's kept floors beautiful for over 50 years. No, indeed. They went right on developing other useful products. An easy-to-use polish for linoleum floors, Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat. Then an amazing auto-polish, Car New, that cleans and wax polishes in one application. Then cream wax for furniture and woodwork. And just recently, an extraordinary product in the paint field, an enamel that actually has wax mixed right in it and gives a superbly beautiful finish that's easy to clean. The name of this product is Johnson's Wax Enamel, and dealers everywhere are now offering it in 19 stunning colors. Perhaps you'd like to ask your dealer about it. This is the time of year when maple leaves and football forecasters begin to turn yellow. There's a nip in the air in Wistful Vista, and our hero thinks a fire in the fireplace will be pretty dandy. So here, with papers and kindling and matches and a bucket of kerosene and not enough accident insurance, we find that unintentional arsonist and his watchful wife, Fibber McGee and Molly.
There, that ought to do it. Hand me that bucket of kerosene, Molly.
I will not.
Huh?
You've got enough paper and kindling in there to barbecue an elephant. McGee, don't pour that on there. Don't now.
Oh, Molly, don't be such a scaredy cat. Here, watch.
Oh, dear. When you get through starting that fire, McGee, run downtown and get me some dynamite.
Huh?
I want to open a can of sardines for lunch.
What's a few drops of kerosene?
Where's the matches? Oh, here they are. I'll have a roaring fire in here in no time at all.
Yes. A roaring fire and a howling insurance adjuster. McGee, for the last time, please don't do
Better
that.
step back a little, Molly. It may flare up a little bit at first.
Oh. Wow! McGee! Look out! Put that screen in front of us.
Don't worry, I got it under control. Hand me my coat. The rug's on fire.
Here, beat it.
Beat it where?
Beat out the fire, foolish.
Should have used safety matches to start it with. And kitchen matches make too big of a flame. There. It's okay, Molly. It's okay.
Yeah. Sure. It's fine. The house full of smoke, the rug all scorched, and you've only got one eyebrow left.
Well, how did I know that was...
Oh, dear. Quick, wipe the soot off your face, McGee. You look like an N-man.
You look like a mammy yourself, Mommy. Come in.
Heavenly days, it's Mayor Latrivia. Come in, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
Good day, McGee. How do you do, Mrs. McGee? I just... What goes on? Fumigating?
No, the fireplace backfired, Mr. Mayor. Won't you have a chair?
Thank you, no. Just stopped in on a matter of business. Mr. McGee, you're a public-spirited citizen. I'm sure you would be glad to give the city the benefit of your executive experience.
Why, certainly, Your Honor. What do you want me to do, run for your job next year? Why, shucks, I'll be glad to. All I got to do is profit by the mistakes you've made, and I'll sure
McGee. Let the mayor talk.
Huh? Oh.
Mr. McGee, the office of mayor of Wistful Vista is not under discussion.
Oh, you think not? If you'd hear what people are saying about the way...
Let the mayor talk.
Okay. Go ahead, Trivial.
To be brief, McGee, one of our officials is making a nationwide survey and will be out of the city for a week or 10 days. His office is too valuable and important to remain vacant during that time. I want you to fill the vacancy pro tem.
Oh, what job is it, Mr. Mayor?
Fire Commissioner.
Well, Bud, you've come to the right man. With my experience in fire prevention...
Pardon me, it's the smoke, I guess.
Very well, then, we'll consider it settled. Here's a badge, and here's your official appointment.
Mr. Mayor, I accept with pleasure. And I must say that for a city like our Wistful Vista, a man like me is none too good for it.
I think so, too.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. I'll inform the city council that the office has been filled pro tem.
What does pro tem mean?
That's a Latin phrase meaning try and keep it. Thank you and good day.
Hot dog. Imagine me, Molly, fire commissioner. The first thing I'm going to do is call a meeting of the Chamber of Commerce this afternoon and give them a talk on fire prevention.
Yes, and if they ask how you scorched your eyebrow, tell them you were cleaning the fireplace and didn't know it was loaded.
Now, let's see. I better have the secretary of the Chamber telephone all the members. It's probably for me, Molly. Hello, Fire Commissioner McGee speaking. Who? Oh, hi, Roscoe. Sure, okay, Roscoe. I'm calling a special meeting of the Chamber for 2:30 this afternoon. Can you be there, Roscoe? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you betcha, Roscoe. I'll see you there. Okay. I'm glad you called, Roscoe. Hey, Molly.
Yes?
Do I know anybody named Roscoe?
Well, you do now.
Oh, these constituents. Always coming around to ask us city officials for a favor. Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. DePopoulos.
Oh, hi, Nick.
Hello, Cupie. Hello, Fizzer. What is this unfounded roommate I'm hearing about you being annoyed at the pro-temporary fire commissary?
Well, it's true, Mr. DePopoulos. He's hot stuff, and he's got a badge to prove it.
Molly, remind me to get you some throat tablets.
What?
You're developing a bad scoff.
Oh, Commissioner.
What was you saying, Nick?
What I was about to say before I was so rudely interrupted is that in my restaurants we are having quite a fire hazard.
Hazard?
I'll say we has.
What is the fire hazard in your restaurant, Nick?
Well, when we are getting an order for a charcoal grill portersteak house...
No, you mean porterhouse steak. Eh?
It's the same thing, only tougher. Every time the cook is charcoal grilling it, the bacon grease in the frying pan is catching itself into a big flame of fire. And all we can do is stand there, hopeless.
Haven't you got a fire extinguisher?
Sure. But every time we squirt it on the frying pan, it is making the steak taste very peculiar.
Well, look, Mr. DePopoulos, your restaurant specializes in charcoal grilled steaks and chops, doesn't it?
Oh, smartly. Just like Mother used to make Papa mad by cooking them the same way. Why, Cupid?
Well, it's a little drastic, maybe, but why don't you get yourself a charcoal broiler?
Well, for scream's sake, I never thought of that. Thank you.
Molly, this is a great day for Wistful Vista.
Is it?
It surely is. Why, when the citizens of this community, this little city of homes and schools and churches, realize that their safety and well-being are now in the hands of Fibber McGee, acting fire commissioner.
Oh, stop acting fire commissioner. Sing, boys.
The King's Men sing Tapioca.
I used to work upon the levee, waiting for the steamer to go down. Sometimes she was loaded mighty heavy, and sometimes she would run aground. What you going to give me for my dinner? Tater cakes are cooking merrily. Oh, that's good enough for any sinner, and that's plenty good enough for me. Tapioca, tapioca, Mammy, won't you let me pick upon the poker? Give me tapioca, 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 tapioca. Oh, come on, we'll have a jubilee. Working on the railroad, 20 cents a day. Johnny Bucket tune on your banjo. Oh, me and my. Mammy, 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 don't you hear the baby cry? Working on the railroad, never get a pay. Johnny Bucket tune on your banjo. Oh, me and my. Mammy, 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 don't you hear the baby cry? See the children rolling in the cotton wool. Sun pouring down upon their heads. Oh, 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 oh. Somebody's gotta make a living. Children gotta have a little bread. Tapioca, 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 tapioca. Won't you, mammy, let you pick upon the poker? Tapioca, 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 tapioca. Come on, we'll have a jubilee. Working on the railroad, 20 cents a day. Johnny, pluck a tune on your banjo. Oh, me, oh, my, oh, my. Mammy, 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 don't you hear the baby cry? Oh, me, oh, my, oh, my. Oh, mammy, don't you hear the baby
Have you got your speech written for the Chamber of Commerce meeting, Commissioner?
No, I'll just ad-lib it. I'll start off by saying, ladies and gentlemen of the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, that's a snappy opening. And incidentally, Commissioner, I wish you'd report to the Chief of Police about the cop in this neighborhood. He's growing a beard, and he looks terrible.
I've already spoke to the cop about it.
Well, what'd you say?
I told him to quit bushing around the beat. Imagine that. We almost took that out, too. Hey, that reminds me. I better call the chamber and see how many members they've rounded up. Hand me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me the whistle, Mr. Chamber. Huh? Oh, is that you, Mert? How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? What's that, Mert? Your old man. In the hospital? He shot off his what?
Oh, heavenly days, McGee. What happened?
He was in Brooklyn last week and shot off his mouth about the Yankees. What say, Mert? Oh, well, don't matter. Thanks anyway, Mert. Ah, great gal, Mert. I'll bet she just lives for the few moments she talks to me every week.
You call that living?
Well, never mind. We better get going. A guy in my position owes it to the citizens to be punctual.
Oh, you're punctual, all right, dear. Everything we own, we bought on time.
I didn't mean that.
Well, congratulations, Fibber, old man. So you're the new fire commissioner.
Isn't it wonderful, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, shucks, it's nothing that any red-blooded, clean-living American boy couldn't have done.
Well, it's a wonderful opportunity, my boy. You can now serve not only your city, but those people in Racine, Wisconsin, who have done so much for you and me.
Okay, Wilcox. Drag it in, but don't drag it out.
Why, as fire commissioner, Fibber, you can help prevent fires. And fire is just about the only thing that Johnson's self-polishing glow coat won't protect your linoleum against. Dirt, yes. Dampness, yes. Stains, yes. Scuffs and scratches, yes. But fire, no. So it's you and Johnson's glow coat against destruction, pal. Get in there and fight. And may the best finish first. Johnson! 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 Yay, team!
You know, McGee, that man has been seeing too many football games.
He had me so hopped up I was tempted to drop back for a quick kick. But I restrained myself. Well, come on, Molly. I don't want to be late for that meeting. Get your hat and your something. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. I'm sorry I ain't got time to talk to you now. I just been made acting fire commissioner, and I'm very busy. What you want?
Will you tell me a story, please? Will you please?
Oh, for the here I am, just appointed fire commissioner with the safety of the whole town in my hands, and you wanted me to tell you a story.
Well, that's always the way, isn't it, mister?
Huh?
The more important a man is, the more time he has for little acts of kindness, huh?
Well, all right. I ever tell you about the time I was captured by the Indians?
In Cleveland?
No. Not the Cleveland Indians. These were Shawnees.
Oh, gee, Chinese Indians. Oh, boy.
I didn't say Chinese. I said Shawnees. Shaw, like in George Bernard.
He's English, I bet you.
Sure he is. He's as English as roast beef.
It's what?
Roast beef.
I
don't care if you are. Now, you want to hear this story or don't you?
No.
Oh, sure you do, sis. It's
No.
very interesting. Well, sir, one day whilst wandering through the mountains, walking very carefully on account of the wild animals, men living in the wild, sis, has got to learn to use their beans.
You say what?
Beans. Oh.
Go ahead, mister. I don't like beans. Well, what happened in the mountains?
I found a little kitten.
Oh.
A little baby mountain lion. And you know what I named the kitten? Caboodle.
Kitten caboodle. Why, mister?
Well, caboodle was an old Shawnee Indian word meaning, look, fellas, I found a mountain lion. Them Indians could sure put a lot of meaning into one little word. Well, sis?
You said that.
Huh? Oh. Well, anyway, sis, years later, I was in the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, and I happened past the pit where they keep the mountain lions.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, I had a hunch. I leans over the edge of the pit and hollers, "Hey, capoodle, it's Ugtug."
Hmm?
Ugtug. That's a Shawnee word meaning white man found mountain lion.
Oh.
Well, sir, the minute that lion heard my voice, he comes bounding to the edge of the pit, sticks out his paw, and rips my shirt right off.
Oh.
Darn near killed me. It wasn't capoodle at all. Wasn't that an amazing story?
Mister, the Shawnees haven't got anything on us, I bet you. We're saying a lot in one little word.
What you mean, sis?
Phooey.
Gratitude for you. Next time I tell her a story, I'll keep it to myself.
Now listen, Ugtug. We'd better scram out of the teepee for powwow down at the big lodge.
Oh, my gosh, almost time for the meeting. Well, come on, let's get going.
Martha Tilton singing Easy Street.
Easy Street, I'd love to live on Easy Street. Nobody works on Easy Street. Just sit around all day. Just sit and play the horses. Life is sweet for folks who live on Easy Street. No weekly payments you must need. That makes your hair turn gray. When opportunity comes knocking, you just keep on with your rockin', 'cause you know your fortune's made. And if the sun makes you perspire, there's a man that you can hire to plant trees so you can have shade on Easy Street. I'm telling everyone I meet, if I could live on Easy Street, I wouldn't want no job today, so please go away. When opportunity comes knocking, you just keep on with your rockin', 'cause you know your fortune's made. And if the sun makes you perspire, there's a man that you can hire to plant trees so you can have shade on Easy Street. I'm telling everyone I meet, if I could live on Easy Street, I wouldn't want no job today. So please go away.
And so, ladies and gentlemen of the Chamber of Commerce, as acting fire commissioner, I want to say that as long as we're all in the same boat, walking along life's pathway together, let us all put our shoulders to the grindstone and with colors flying, gird up our lions and kiwanuses and make Wistful Vista a better, safer place to live in which to live in.
May I ask a question, Commissioner?
Of course, Bud. All us public servants welcome comments from the people. What's the question?
Is there any penalty for turning in a false alarm?
There certainly is.
Then I guess you're safe for a while.
Quiet, please. Quiet. Order. And if the chameleon who just spoke will come to our next fire, we'll be glad to let him mingle with the rest of the silly ashes.
Yoo-hoo, McGee.
The lady will please address the chair as you-hoo commissioner. You have the floor, madam.
Well, I've been talking to Mr. Mills sitting next to me here, and he has a complaint to make.
He has, eh? Billy, do you mean to sit there with no sleeves in your vest and criticize this fire department? Yes, I do, Skimp. State your case.
Well, last week I was knocking off some hot licks on my piano, and it caught on fire.
Yes?
That was about 3 p.m. Your fire department didn't show up until 6:30.
Did you call them right away?
Oh, do you have to call them?
Oh, just to show you how wrong Mr. Mills is and how quick our boys do get on the job, I'm going to try an experiment. We're going to turn in an alarm right now and see how long it takes them to get here. I'll show you.
Fine, McGee.
Mrs. Commissioner McGee, will you please step to the telephone and call the fire department?
Certainly. Pardon me, please. Thank you. Hello, operator. Give me the Wistful Vista Fire Department. Oh, is that you, Myrtle?
No. Never mind that. Yeah, get the fire department.
Give me the fire department, Myrtle, quick. Hello, fire department. I want to... What? No, this is not the pot of gold. I'm calling from the Chamber of Commerce. It's on fire. Hurry.
Thank you, Mrs. McGee. And now, if you'll all keep an eye on your watches, we'll see just how long it takes our brave fire laddies.
Mr. Commissioner, may I say a few words while we're waiting?
Why, certainly. The chair recognizes Mrs. Uppington, in spite of that funny-looking hat. Mrs. Uppington?
Commissioner McGee and fellow members of the Wistful Vista Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, make it snappy, Abigail. Technically, we're on fire.
Very well. I merely wish to protest against the unseemly, nerve-wracking sounds emitted by our fire department on its way to a conflagration. Such bells and sirens, it's ridiculous. Can't we install some melodious chimes, such as are heard on the Good Humor truck?
Order, please, order. I'm sorry, Mrs. Uppington. If our firefighting methods are too dad-added raucous for your delicate nerves, I'll have them take off the sirens and put on a fireman with a flute playing I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire.
Oh, thank you.
And while we're at it, we'll have the police throw away their revolvers and carry water pistols. Does that satisfy you, Uppy?
Certainly, Mr. McGee.
Well...
If a little squirt can run the fire department, it ought to work with the police.
Order, please, order. Ladies and gentlemen, in the few seconds we have left, I think it would be fitting to hear from Wistful Vista's poet laureate, Mr. Wallace Wimple. He's composed a little verse in honor of this occasion. Mr. Wimple.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner and friends. I have called this little poem The Fire in the Creamery. Our smoke gets in your eyes, cream. And it goes. When your restaurant burned down, I had to write this little sonnet in hopes my tablecloth was saved, because I figured my income tax upon it.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Wimple.
Was it?
Yes. That's wonderful.
Well, it's nothing, Mrs. McGee, really. As long as this meeting is concerned with our fire department, I would like to pay tribute to the woman who risked everything she had to test their life-saving equipment, Mrs. Wimple, my wife.
Oh, what'd she do, Wimple?
Well, when our fire company first got their landing nets, they stood on the sidewalk, and my wife stood in the window 10 stories overhead.
Oh, really?
And then at a signal, the long, fearful drop to the net. Time after time. What if she did keep missing the net? She would not give up. She persisted until the fireman finally told her to stop. The net was a success. That's why I say...
But, Mr. Wimple, wasn't she hurt falling 10 stories time after time?
Oh, she didn't fall. She kept throwing me out.
Order, please. Order. Now, ladies and gentlemen, hey, quiet, everybody. Listen.
They went right on past.
They're probably swinging around and back where the fire escapes are. Uh-oh. Listen.
Why, I could put out this fire with a handful of water just before those guys get here.
Pipe down, Bud. There's a wiseacre that needs plowing under. There must be some reason for all this. Wait here, everybody, and I'll be right back with the explanation. Come on, Molly, let's run out and see what's wrong.
Oh, look, McGee. Here they come again.
Here comes the fire chief. Hey, Chief.
Yeah, one side there, Commissioner. There's a fire in here.
Oh, no, there ain't, Bud. This is just a test run. Just checking up.
Say, McGee, where's your manners?
What manners? Oh, excuse me. Molly, meet Chief Conley, one of my firefighting brothers.
Oh, how do you do, I'm sure, brother.
How do you do?
Hey, what took you so long to get here, Chief?
Oh, some dope parked his car in front of the hydrant down at the corner. We had to ram it out of the way.
That's good work, Chief.
Nice going, brother.
And then we notified the police to haul it away.
Great stuff, Chief. Serves him right. Whose car was it?
Yours.
What? You mean...
Well, you see, Commissioner...
That's all, brother. Come on, Ugtug.
Here's good news for all Fibber and Molly fans. How'd you like to have an autographed picture of Fibber McGee and Molly and their cast? I have one right here, and I wish you could all see it. For a limited time only, you can have one free with your purchase of Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Glow Coat, or any Johnson's Wax polish in pint, pound, or larger sizes. Now, your dealer has a very limited supply of these free fixtures. You'd better see them right away and avoid disappointment. Even if you already have some Glow Coat or Johnson's Wax on hand, now is a good time to buy an extra package so you and your family can enjoy this interesting autographed picture of Fibber and Molly and their cast. But don't put it off too long. Your dealer's supply of these pictures is really limited. Remember, this unique photograph is yours free with your purchase of Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, or any Johnson's Wax polish in pint, pound, or larger size.
Well, they're a pretty cooperative bunch down there at City Hall, Molly. I'll give them credit for that.
How cooperative?
They accepted my resignation as fire commissioner without a murmur.
Well, that's nice, dearie. I always... say, McGee.
Huh?
Your vest is all ripped down the front. How'd you do that?
Oh, must have done that when I took off my badge.
You took it off?
Well, all right, they took it off. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
It's fun to drive a new car, isn't it? And almost as much fun driving your car when it's been waxed, polished, and looks like new. Then why not wax polish your car right away with Johnson's Car New, the sensational new auto polish that saves time and money. Why? Because Car New both cleans and wax polishes in one application. Does two jobs at once. Get your car ready now for the bad weather coming. And ask your dealer for Johnson's Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. Makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Men and music by Billy Mills. The show opens with Free for All. Is such an important room in the house, you can't blame a woman for wanting to make it cheerful and convenient. In the first place, it's her workroom, where she spends a good many hours. Also, it's a room where both neighbors and family like to visit. Why shouldn't it be a pleasant room with colorful curtains, convenient cabinets, and a beautiful, easy-to-keep clean floor? That, of course, is where Johnson's Glow Coat comes in. A floor that's kept sparkling with Glow Coat does wonders for your kitchen. Keeps it clean and bright with a minimum of work. And don't forget that the regular use of Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat makes your linoleum last from 5 to 10 times longer. Now, you know, of course, that Glow Coat needs no rubbing or buffing. It's self-polishing. Glow Coat gives a floor lasting luster, has a flexible film that wears evenly and smoothly without chipping. And Glow Coat is economical because a little goes a long way. But for real Glow Coat results, don't be satisfied with anything but the original Johnson Self-Polishing Glow Coat with the familiar red and yellow label. Buy some tomorrow. The worst blizzard in 76 years has hit Wistful Vista. Snow has drifted up to the second-floor windows in some places, and this is one of the places, the home of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Well, it certainly is nice to stay home by a warm fire tonight, isn't it, dearie?
I'll say. Ain't a fit night out for man or Hitler.
I tell tell you, it must be terribly cold out.
Cold? Why, when I come home tonight, that snowman in front of Toots's was blowing on his fingers.
Say, what's the exact temperature? Stick your head out the door and see what the thermometer on the porch says.
Oh, no. I wouldn't protrude my puss out those portals tonight for all the retreads in Detroit. No, sirree.
Well, then turn on the radio. It's just time for the weather report.
Oh, say, it is at that. I wonder just how cold it is.
Terribly.
Thanks.
Well, at least we're comfortable and warm here. You want to play a game of rummy, dearie?
No, I got a lot of stuff to do. Never have a better chance to do them, too, either.
Just what have you got to do?
Oh, I got to paste my defense stamps in my book, and sort out my trout flies, and write a letter to Aunt Sarah thanking her for my Christmas present.
She didn't send you any Christmas presents.
Well, I'm in a sarcastic mood.
Well, I'm glad you're going to be busy, McGee. Maybe I can finish knitting this
This what?
I wish I knew. I'm not much of a knitter yet.
Well, you're a swell needle pointer.
I know, but the Army has some silly objections to needlepoint sweaters. Now, maybe if I'd...
My gosh, there's somebody at the door.
You know, that's what I love about you, McGee. You grasp things so quickly. Well, let 'em in. They'll freeze to death out there.
Okay, but if it's the good humor man, he ain't using good judgment.
Good evening. I'm Mr. George Melvin. Come in. At the door. Let me get the door.
Wind goes through you like a collector from the Internal Revenue. What'd you say your name was, Bud?
Spelvin, George Spelvin. You're Mr. McGee?
That I am indeed. And this is my wife, Molly. Molly, Mr. Spelvin.
Oh, how do you do, I'm sure.
Delighted, madam. My, it's nice and cozy in here. Don't tell me you're knitting on a tiny garment. Congratulations. When is the happy event?
Huh?
It isn't a tiny garment. It's a sweater for a soldier.
Yeah.
And if I don't stop dropping stitches, it won't be a happy event either. Have a chair, Mr. Spellbound.
Spelvin, and thank you. But first, I'd better drop this overcoat and these wet oversuits in the hall.
McGee. Who is he?
I don't know. But I wouldn't turn a dog away on a night like this. And he looks kind of like an old hound I used to have when I... Well. Have a chair, Spelvin, old man.
Thank you. A nice place you have here, Mrs. McGee.
Thank you. We like it. We have to. We own it.
Well, I imagine you'll be seeing a great deal of it for the next few days. You won't be able to get downtown to a restaurant till this storm is over.
Well, so what? Home is where the heartburn is, I always says. Did you want to see me about something, Spelvin?
What? Oh, yes. Mr. McGee, I have a special message for you from the governor.
Heavenly days from the governor. Maybe you've got an appointment, dearie.
Well, it's about time. I volunteered for everything from air raid warden to mixing macaroons for Marines. What'd the governor say, Spelvin?
Well, first, Mr. McGee, may I ask if you have a car?
Every time I see it, I ask myself the same thing.
Sure, I got a car, Bud. Tip-top condition, too.
You're not kidding, McGee. That top tip's under any condition.
Well, it really doesn't matter as long as it runs.
Oh, it runs. That car will do 55 in second gear, Spelvin.
And 30 in high.
Oh, now, Molly, you're giving George here entirely wrong impression. You see, George... You don't mind if I call you George, do you?
Oh, not at all. Glad to have you.
Fine. You see, Spelvin, before we were married, my wife used to go with a guy that owned a Stutz Bearcat, and she never got over
Never mind me, McGee.
Huh?
What did the governor say?
Yeah, what did he say, Spelvin?
Well, the fact is, McGee, it's of the utmost importance that you...
Oh, dear. Now who? You answered, McGee. I'm right in the middle of a mistake in my knitting.
Okay. Excuse me a minute, George.
Oh, certainly.
I suppose somebody wants me to tie some hot coffee around my neck and go rescue their St. Bernard.
Hello there, Johnny. Hey, can I borrow that old man? Come on in. Open the door.
It's the old timer, Molly.
Okay, Johnny. Just for a minute. Hello there, darling. What you doing? Knitting for Britain or crocheting for the Malayan?
We can't stand that applause, can we? Oh, good evening, Mr. Oldtimer. May I introduce you to Mr. Spelvin? Mr. Spelvin, this is Mr. Hey, what is your name anyway, Mr. Oldtimer?
Yeah, I don't believe I ever heard it either.
Just call me Old-Timer, kids. Names don't matter. It's character that counts. As long as the feller's true blue, Honest, straightforward, backward.
Oh, don't be so coy. What's your name?
Come on, old-timer. After all, it couldn't be worse than Fibber.
Maybe not, Johnny, but I'm more sensitive than you are.
Won't you tell us?
Nope.
Just tell me.
Nope.
Whispers in my ear. I won't tell anybody.
Promise?
I promise.
Okay.
Oh, heavenly days, it couldn't be.
It is, though.
Can you imagine? Mr. Spelman, this is the old-timer.
How do you do, sir?
Well, hello, son. Sorry to butt in like this, kid. Just wanted to know if I could borrow a hot poker.
A hot poker? No, I'm sorry, old-timer. Our poker's busted.
What on earth did you want that for?
Oh, me and my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
No, my girlfriend, Frances.
Oh.
We were playing in the snow along the street here, diving into snowdrifts. And all of a sudden, I missed Fran. Must have knocked yourself out in a fire hydrant or something. Anyway, she's under a drift someplace along here, and I was going to jab around with a hot poker. Oh, well, guess I can use a sharp stick. See you later, kids. Good night, Mr. Tailspin.
Won't you have another cup of coffee before you and McGee start talking business, Mr. Spelman?
Thanks. I believe I will. Delicious coffee, Mrs. McGee.
I'm glad you like it. I make it from a recipe I got from McGee's half-sister, Beth.
What do you mean, half-sister? She's my sister.
Not since she worked for that magician and he shot her in two.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Just a family joke, Phil. We always kid Bessie about wanting to go on the stage.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
You know, I had a younger brother always wanted to go on the stage. Finally made it, too.
Good for him.
Yes, he was out in Desert Springs, Arizona once, and he wanted to go to Dry Gulch, New Mexico, but the trains weren't running, so he went on the stage.
Well, let's get down to business, Belvin. As long as you represent the governor, suppose you tell me just exactly what he wants me to...
Well, for goodness sake, more orphans of the storm. See who it is, McGee.
Okay, excuse me a minute, Belvin, while I see what no good this ill wind is blowing us.
Oh, good.
Hey, Molly, Uppy's here. Come on in, Uppy.
Oh, how do you do, Abigail? May I present Mr. Spelman, Mrs. Uppington?
How do you do?
Not the Mrs. Uppington through whose window someone threw a rock.
The very same, Belvin, the very same.
Will you have a cup of coffee, Abigail? You look awfully cold.
Oh, thank you, I will, my dear, and I am cold. In fact, I'm quite numb.
That's what I was telling Molly just this morning, Uppy. I says that Uppington trail is just about the...
McGee.
dead numb.
Oh, right. Hey, what are you doing out on a night like this, Uppy? This kind of weather's only good for one thing. To keep the Germans rushing back from the Russian front. Did you get it, folks? I says to keep
Ain't funny, McGee.
I thought it was rather amusing, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, thanks, Belle. Have a cigar?
Oh, thanks. I have one.
You got two? Thanks.
Answering your question, Miss McGee, I had little Fifi out for a walk. She adores the snow, you know.
Is Fifi your daughter, Mrs. Uppington?
Fifi is a Pekingese, Mr. Spelman.
How interesting. I'd love to meet her. Chinese girls are so intelligent, I say. I'd love to discuss the situation.
Fifi is a dog, Spelman, and she ain't interested in the foreign situation.
As I was saying, it was so blustery and so cold outside, I was frightfully afraid of being lost in the storm. And yours was the only light I could see for simply blocks, my dear. So I struggled through the drifts and finally succeeded in forcing my way through the snow to your front door.
But where's Fifi?
Oh, I took her home first.
Well, sit down and take a load off your eye millers, Uppy. Mr. Spelman here was just about to give me a message from the governor.
As a matter of fact,
What we need is a doorman. Does anybody here know any unemployed Eskimos? Well, go see who it is, McGee.
Okay, but... All right. Come on in, Marco. Come on in. Shut the door.
Oh, boy. Oh, gee. Thanks, Fibber. My hands were so cold I couldn't find the doorbell. I had to hammer with my elbows.
Haven't you got sense enough to stay home on a night like this, Harlow?
Well, my conscience was bothering me, Fibber. I just ran across a book I borrowed from you a long time ago. Here.
Oh, thanks. What is it? Oh, If Winter Comes. You sure this is mine?
Yep. I borrowed it in 1925. Hey, is that coffee I smell?
It is, and you do. Come on in, Harlow, and defrost your eyebrows.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
How do you do, Mr. Wilcox?
Hello, Mrs. Uppington.
Harlow, this is Mr. George Spelvin. Spelvey, old man, this is Harlow Wilcox. Your linoleum's best friend and severest critic.
I'm glad to know you, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, this is a coincidence, Mr. Spelvin. I was demonstrating Johnson's self-polishing glow coat to a Mrs. Spelvin yesterday afternoon, showing her how easy it was to apply, how quickly it dried to a beautiful polish, how the easier homework would take years off her life and put them on the life of the linoleum. Let me see. No, it wasn't Mrs. Spelvin either. It was Mrs. Woods. No, Crawford. That was it. Mrs. Crawford. No relation, I suppose.
Tall, dark woman with a mole on her arm?
No, short and stout with a poodle on her lap.
No relation, I guess.
Oh, speaking of poodles, Mr. Wilcox, I hated to take little Fifi out tonight.
Well, there's nothing like a dog.
There's nothing like Uppy's dog. I'll go that far with you. There ain't even another dog like her dog.
Yeah, I had a dog once.
Man's best friend, I always say. Just like Johnson's glow coat is a woman's best friend because it saves so much time and effort.
Heavenly days, Mr. Wilcox. Can't you forget Johnson's glow coat for 1 minute?
I don't know. I've never tried.
As I was saying, I had a dog once.
I did, too. Part Springer Spaniel on his mother's side and the smartest dog I ever knew on his father's side. Smarter than a human being.
Oh, now, McGee.
Well, he was. Every Sunday morning, he'd go out on the porch and look both ways up and down the street. Then he'd kind of shake his little head and come back in the house. Every Sunday morning for 11 years he did that.
Well, what was he looking for?
We never knew. He knew, but we didn't. So he was smarter than us. I'll have another cup of coffee, too, Molly.
As I was going to say, I had a dog once.
That mud of George's is going to die of old age before he gets it into the discussion. Excuse me while I see who's at the door. Oh, hi, Trivia. Shut the door. Come on in.
Oh, thank you, McGee.
Glad you dropped in, Latrivia. The conversation around here was going to the dogs. Hey, everybody, here's Mayor Latrivia.
Hello, Mayor. I don't believe you know Mr. Spelvin, Your Honor. Mr. Spelvin, this is Mayor Latrivia.
Yeah, I had a dog once. Oh, excuse me. I'm glad to meet you, Your Honor.
How do you do?
Are you a resident of our fair city, Mr. Spelvin?
No, he don't vote here, Latrivia, so you can let go of his hand now.
Mr. Spelvin represents the governor, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, he does? Well. I see where Mr. Spelvin and I can spend a profitable few minutes together. We can
have a cup of coffee, Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, and an egg sandwich. I just stopped in to tell you, McGee, that a complaint has reached my ears.
I had the same thing last summer, Latrivia. Started in my neck and reached my ears in 2 days. The doctor says it was just a
Mr. McGee, please. I was about to say that I have received a complaint from the street commissioner that you have been remiss in the matter of snow removal from your front sidewalk.
Oh, well, thanks for warning me, Latrivia. It's a funny thing, too. I really enjoy shoveling snow.
You do?
You do?
I surely do. I'd rather hear the frosty clang of a snow shovel on a sidewalk than the finest symphony music in the world. To feel the red blood coursing through my veins as I swing that shovel to and fro. That marvelous glow that comes from exercising in the cold winter air. The sharp tang of the wind on my cheeks as my muscles respond to the healthy rhythm. And what an appetite I get. Sleep like a baby. Oh, I love the feeling of the snow.
Hold it, McGee. Where are you going, Mr. Mayor?
I'm going to shovel your walk-off for you. I haven't felt like that in years. There's the snow shovel.
Snow shovel's right in here, Latrivia.
Where, McGee?
Right here in the hall closet. Got to straighten out that closet one of these days.
The King's Men sing Gay Ranchero.
A gay ranchero, a caballero, can always find someone to pet. A senorita, a sweet pepita, her other love will soon forget. If he's insistent and she's not distant, the senorita will confess. A gay ranchero, a caballero, he'd only ask and she'll say yes. Soon there'll be a fiesta with the blushing bride, and the gay ranchero standing by her side. He'll be so excited on his wedding day. Ask him if he loves her, and you'll hear him say, "Si, si, tu amo." La señorita hermosita, estrellita. Si, si, tu amo. Cuando le doy todo mi amor, floratita del corazón. Oh, look at Pancho, back on his rancho, with his Pepita by his side. She thinks he's handsome, worth any ransom. To him she's still a blushing bride. The gay ranchero, so very happy is he. The caballero, so very happy is he. And all the world knows how they met. This very happy ranchero, this gay caballero has not one single regret. Now to end the story that I once was told, here's a little secret that I must unfold. For they found the promise that they had in store. Now they're really counting those muchachas by the score. And maybe more.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, Mr. McGee?
Look, I think the storm's letting up a little.
Yeah, so if any of you want to get home before you really get
Oh, I don't want to go home, Molly. I'm having fun.
So am I, Mrs. McGee, and I can talk to your husband later.
Won't you join us, my dear, when you get through making the sandwiches?
He wasn't making any sandwiches.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, but I will. I guess Molly McGee can take a hint without being hit in the face with a wet bathing suit.
Well, I'll join you guys here. What's the plan?
We're playing Thinky Dink.
What on earth are thinky dinks?
Well, look, it's my turn. I'll show you. All right. I'm thinking of a contented insect in an oil robe.
I knew. A snug bug in a chug rug. Now, your turn, Mr. Selden.
All right. Now, what's a wide-awake quintet in a juke joint?
Oh, that's easy. A live five and a jive dive.
Oh, this game is a cinch. Let me try it.
Oh, do, Mr. McGee. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm thinking of a tired Indian in a borrowed teepee. Give up? A spent gent in a lent tent.
Oh, hey, you didn't give us time to guess, Fibber.
Oh, you wouldn't have got it anyway. Go ahead, Molly. It's your turn.
All right. I'm thinking of a hand-painted spark plug dancing with a red-haired kangaroo on a Wednesday afternoon.
Good heavens. I can't think what that would be.
Neither can I, so I'll go out and make some sandwiches. Go ahead, have fun. Oh, dear, go see who that is, McGee. It may mean extra food and more coffee.
Okay, excuse me, folks.
Oh, sure.
I don't find out pretty soon what the hell.
Hello, Mr. McGee. My goodness. Isn't it a terrible night out?
Yeah.
Not that any night out is very terrible to me, though, because... Oh, you have company.
Oh, come on in anyway. Hey, folks, here's Wallace Wimple.
Hello, Mr. Wimple. I don't think Mr. Wimple knows Mr. Spelvin, McGee. Mr. Spelvin, Mr. Wimple.
Good evening, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, it's nothing of the kind, Mr. Spelvin. It's a horrible evening. I'd never have buzzed out of the house if I hadn't run out of cigarettes.
Oh, you don't have to go clear to the cigar store, Wimp. I'll give you a couple of packages. What do you smoke?
Q-beds.
I didn't know your wife would let you smoke, Mr. Wimple.
Well, she doesn't really approve, Mrs. McGee. Not cigarettes, anyway. So she promised me a pipe last Christmas.
Briar, Wallace?
No, Mr. Wilcox. Lead. She promised she'd let me have it if she ever caught me smoking again. You see, Sweetie Face is my wife, Mr. Spelvin.
Oh, I see.
Sweetie Face is simply obsessed with health fads.
Oh.
Why, sometimes for dinner, we just have a heaping plate of spinach apiece.
Just spinach, Wimp?
Just spinach. I pretend I don't know she has a filet mignon under hers. And later I run out and get a nutty burger.
Oh, but don't you ever protest against such inhuman treatment, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, of course I had, Mrs. Uppington. Why, just last Saturday I said to her, Sweetie Face, I said, I'd like to have a little more freedom. And she said, why, Wallace, dear, how can you say that? Why, you're as free as a bird.
She did, really?
Yes. And then she said, in fact, I bet you can fly. And she threw me out the window.
Your wife sounds like quite a character, Mr. Sweetie Face.
Wimple Spelman. His wife's name is Sweetie Face.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, I wouldn't want anyone to misunderstand me. Sweetie Face is really a delightful person when you really get to know her. She says. Well, I must be running along, folks. It's been nice to see all of you, really.
You sure you can't stay a while and play some games, Mr. Wimple?
Well, if I do it, I'd better hit him. I get one anyway. I'll stay.
Now, let's all play games again. Now, hold it together.
Hey, just a minute, folks. Just a minute.
What's the matter, McGee?
Look, you're welcome to stay all night and play all the games you want, but Mr. Spelvin come here tonight with a message from the governor. Now, I don't want to wait any longer to hear what it is.
Well, we'll go in the other room, Fibber, and let you talk.
No. Now, we want you all to hear it, don't we, McGee?
Huh? Do we?
Why, of course we do. I'm proud of it.
Oh, well, I guess we do at that. All you people thought I was kind of unimportant around here, didn't you? Thought I'd never amount to anything. Well, there's going to be a few opinions changed around here tonight. Go ahead, Spelvin, old man.
All right, Mr. McGee. Do you realize that your tires wear out twice as fast at 45 miles per hour as they do at 30?
Why, certainly, we know all of that, but what is that?
Driving habits are hard to control. So what's the best answer? An automatic control. Therefore...
Hey, what's all this got to do with giving Fibber a state job?
Yes, why does the governor need our car?
That's what I've been getting at. It isn't so much that the governor needs your car as it is that your car needs a governor.
Hey, what is this, Bud? Who do you represent?
Well, you never let me quite explain that, Mr. McGee. I represent the Governor and Carburetor Corporation of New Jersey.
When you step into some homes, don't they seem to be more livable and friendly than others? Aglow with warm hospitality? A wax-protected home is usually a warm, friendly one. Floors that shimmer and gleam with a rich Johnson's wax polish add beauty to the entire home. They are protected, too, against wear and dirt, actual money-saving protection, and they're so much easier to keep clean. But this Johnson's wax protection and labor saving doesn't stop with floors. Wax your tabletops, chair arms, woodwork also, and your windowsills, Venetian blinds, shelves, refrigerator, shoes, luggage, lampshades. Then you'll be practicing what authorities call protective housekeeping. Right now and during the next year or so, it's important to take extra good care of your things. Give them an occasional application of genuine Johnson's wax, which you can buy now in 3 forms: paste, liquid, and the new cream wax especially formulated for furniture and woodwork. Oh, by the way, Johnson's wax is great, too, for Army boots and leather service equipment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this country has a big job ahead of it and won't stop till it's done. We've got to get in there with our money and our work and our loyal 100% support.
Yes, Uncle Sam has rolled up his sleeves, and now what he needs is more sleeves.
So let's give him our shirts. Good night.
Good night, all.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. When a dog bites a man, it's no news. But when a woman gets mad enough to bite a dog for running across the kitchen floor every day with his muddy feet, there's only one answer: Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat to protect the linoleum and keep it clean and beautiful. Floors that are protected with Glow Coat are easy to keep clean. The pup's muddy footprints are easily removed. Spilled things are quickly wiped up with a damp cloth. The regular use of Glow Coat makes linoleum last 6 to 10 times longer, besides saving you so much work. Glow Coat, as you know, is self-polishing. It needs no rubbing or buffing. Dries in 20 minutes to a beautiful, sparkling polish. For old or new linoleum, there's really nothing so helpful as Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat. The dangerous age in a man is when he wants to start fixing things around the house. And the house we have in mind is at 79 Wistful Vista, the residence of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Now, let me see. What can I work on first? Oh, I know. I'll go up on the roof and put up a new aerial.
Oh, fine.
Well, what's the matter with that? We need one. If we don't fix that aerial, we might as well give up hope. Say nothing of Lum and Abner and Gildersleeve.
Oh, it's a wonderful idea, dearie, but why do you let it go for 3 years and then do it on a day when the roof is a solid sheet of ice?
How do you know the roof is icy? You been up there?
No, but I walked to the market this morning.
Yeah?
And I did more fancy skating on my galoshes for free than Sonia Henny ever did for $10,000 a week.
Well, shucks, if I can't work on the aerial. Oh, I know. I'll fix that loose board on the back step.
I fixed that 2 weeks ago, McGee.
You did?
I had to before Beulah caught pneumonia.
Well, how can anybody catch pneumonia from a wobbly step?
By doing a nosedive into a basket of wet laundry once a week. Poor Beulah, you know.
Well, I got to do something. I just can't sit around. I got too much pent-up energy today. I'll tell you what. I'll put a new pane in the basement window.
Which basement window?
That one I busted last week when the handle flew off the hammer. I was using to hammer the hammer handle back on the other hammer.
The man put a new glass in that window day before yesterday, sweetheart.
Did he leave any putty laying around?
Well,
If he did, I can fix that hole in the plaster in the hall that I made when I was showing Doc Gamble how to swing a brassy.
That also has been repaired.
Oh, shucks.
Look, McGee, if you're so full of pep and vitality, why don't you...
Oh, I know. Tune the piano. I've always wanted to tune a piano. Help me take the top off the piano, Molly.
Oh, McGee, now, please. You're always wanting to tune the piano, and you don't know anything about tuning a piano.
Well, what's the matter? Don't you want me to do anything? You want me to just lay around the house like a bum?
Did you ever tune a piano?
No, but I've watched guys do it. It's a cinch. Just take the top off the piano, see? Then you turn a wrench on them little knobs while you tap on one key over and over and over and over.
Yeah?
And when everybody rushes out of the house to get away from the noise, you put the top back on the piano and look around for the cigars.
Listen, you better stick to the mandolin, dearie. You couldn't stay on pitch shinnying up a pine tree.
Well, doggone it, I got to have an outlet for all this energy. I got an urge to do something constructive. I want to build something for somebody.
Sit down and build yourself a lap. Here's a book of crossword puzzles. You can work on those.
No, sir, I'm too restless. I feel like I want... Hey, Oh, no. I can do that later.
What?
Take down the Christmas tree.
Now, don't be hasty about that, McGee. It's only the 23rd of January. We can tie some cherries on it and throw a Washington's birthday party.
Well, isn't there anything I can fix or build for anybody around here? I want to do something.
I can't think of anything, dearie. Maybe Beulah needs something done. Oh, Beulah! Beulah! Somebody bawl for Beulah?
Yeah, Beulah, you got anything needs fixing?
Yes, I sure have.
Mm-hmm.
My crystal needs a new wristwatch.
You mean your wristwatch needs a new crystal, Beulah?
No, ma'am. I dropped it in the snow this morning, ma'am, and all I could find of it was the crystal.
My gosh, that's too bad, Beulah. Was it valuable?
No, sir, not awful valuable anyway. It had a prescription engraved on the back of it to say, presented to Wilbur T. Undertrig for 25 years faithful service in the employ of the Wistful Vista Surface Line.
Wilbur probably had to hock it to pay the rental on the tuxedo we wore at the banquet where they presented the watch to him, huh?
Where'd you get it, Beulah?
From Mr. Wilbur T. Undertrig, sir.
Didn't he like it, Beulah?
No, ma'am. He said, Beulah, he said, you keep this here tick-tock to remind you never to work for no public utility 25 years. He said when you get to that age, there's liable to close up the works and lay off the hands. Oh.
Well, I was just wondering if there was any odd jobs around the house I could do, Beulah. I'm full of energy today. Got a lot of pep. Muscles are jumping around like a bag full of frogs.
You got something for him to spend all that ambition on, Beulah?
Well, let me think, ma'am. Has you had any experience fixing washing machines, sir?
What do you mean, have I had any experience with them? I invented one. The McGee Modern Mangle with the built-in hanger-upper.
With the built-in what?
Hanger-upper. I designed a washer that washed clothes, wrung them out, and strung them on a line. Had a gadget that fed a clothesline into one side of it, then it'd pin the clothes on the line and feed it out the other side through the window and out into the backyard.
Well, for goodness sake, Mr. McGee.
Sure.
That sure sounds like a wonderful idea. Thing like that would sure make a monkey out of Monday.
Whatever became of this brainchild, McGee?
I'm still working on it. Designing a time clock attachment that'll bring the clothes back in after 8 hours and iron them.
You going to sew buttons back on too, sir?
Well, Natch.
What's the matter with the washing machine, Beulah?
Bad manners mostly, ma'am.
Bad manners?
Yes, ma'am. Every time you take the top off to look in, it slap you with a wet shirt.
Well, it can't be blamed for that, Beulah. That's the only way a washing machine can wave its arms.
And why should a washing machine wave its arms, Mr. Bones?
Well, my gosh. If you'd been frozen as long as washing machines have, you'd be pretty cold yourself.
She's been frozen like a washing machine. Love that man, and I'll fix it myself.
Billy Mills from the orchestra and Broadway Rhythm.
Oh, we got a bookcase. I might tear out one wall of the dining room and build in a built-in china cabinet. No, not enough china. Now, let's see, I might...
For goodness sakes, dearie, stop pacing up and down. You got me as nervous as a 20-mule team with a Republican driver.
I can't help it, Molly. I got too much energy today. I'm trying to think of something constructive to do.
Why don't you clean out the hall closet?
I can't.
Why?
My mandolin's got a busted G-string.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Everything. Whenever I clean out that hall closet, I come across my mandolin.
Yeah?
Naturally, I sit down in a few minutes and tear off a few selections.
Yeah?
Like Pretty Red Wing and Rachmaninoff's Prelude. Sounds awful with no G-string. Did you ever hear Rachmaninoff's Prelude without a... Well, I'm afraid that's not a proper question.
Yeah. I'm afraid you're right. Look, why don't you go shovel the snow off? Oh, hello, Alice.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Oh, hi, Alice. Hey, you got any odd jobs of work you need done, kid? Something requiring superhuman energy, a keen intelligence, and a mass of muscle?
Such as sharpening a pencil, Alice, or winding a clock?
Well, I can't think of a thing, Mr. McGee, unless you want to put a hook on the inside of my bathroom door to hang a bathrobe on.
Why, McGee, you promised to do that a year ago. I never noticed that he hadn't done it, Alice.
Completely slipped my mind, girls, completely. Where do you hang your bathrobe now, Alice?
On the doorknob, but it drags on the floor that way.
Oh, my gosh, I can fix that easy enough. Bring me your bathrobe and a pair of scissors. See, the doorknob's about 36 inches from the floor. I'll cut 37 inches off your robe, and it'll hang an inch clear. I don't know why you women can't think of these things. It just takes a little imagination.
Look, dearie,
huh?
wouldn't it be simpler just to lower the bathroom floor about 3 feet?
Oh, no, Mrs. McGee. If the floor was lowered 3 feet, the cord of the ceiling light would be too high to reach.
Yes, that's true, Alice. Of course, you could carry a flashlight, but it's awful hard to get batteries.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry to be so much trouble, Mr. McGee.
Oh, not at all, Alice, not at all. Happy to do anything to make you comfortable here. How's that north window of yours since I fixed it? Have any more trouble getting it open?
Oh, not a bit, Mr. McGee.
That's nice.
But now I can't get it closed.
Huh? Oh.
Maybe I'd better put that hook on the bathroom door myself.
Listen, I'll do it, Alice. Don't you worry about it.
Well, anyway, that isn't the kind of a trivial little job I'm looking for right now. I want to do something big, constructive. Something that will last.
Well, why don't you bake a cake, Mr. McGee? The other one you made lasted for weeks.
Oh. He wants to do something muscular, Alice.
Oh, I have just the thing. Are you strong in the shoulders and arms, Mr. McGee?
Why, Alice? What have you got that calls for simple brute force? Pure peasant strength.
My fountain pen. I can't get the cap off. I'll run up and get it.
Fountain pen. That's child's play. What I need is something to work off this excess energy. I feel so strong, I frighten myself.
Really?
Why, I slapped myself silly just putting shaving lotion on my face this morning.
Well, until this sudden surge of physical strength fades away, Pet, you'd better open doors and things with your left hand.
No, that's no solution, kiddo. I'm just as powerful with either hand. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of writing a book about that.
Entitled what?
Forever Amber. Dexterous. You get it? Amber, dexterous, the pun involves...
Ain't funny, McGee.
No? I liked it because it was topical. A topical joke is always...
Hiya, folks.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. Feel my muscle.
What?
Feel my muscle. My biceps. Ain't that marvelous? Just developed this morning.
It isn't quite so impressive when he hasn't got his shirt sleeves rolled up under his coat, Mr. Wilcox.
What have you been doing, pal? Signing up for a course of training with Charles Atlas?
No, just reached a peak of physical perfection, Waxy. Muscles toned up, eyes clear as a bell, complexion ruddy, hair full of electricity.
Tummy full of wheat cakes?
Well, personally, I always feel that way.
Oh, yeah? Why, compared to me, Junior, you're a weakling. You're big and flabby. I'm the wiry type.
Wiry and well insulated.
Well, now that you've got it, what are you going to do with it?
Trying to find a job of work that'll work off a little energy, Junior. All the odd jobs around here are too trivial to monkey with. I got to use my muscles on something constructive. Hey, you know how to Indian wrestle?
Yes.
Swell. I'll Indian wrestle you for 50 cents.
Right. Here, Molly, here's my forfeit.
Now, wait a minute, boys. Leave us not have no assault and battery. This is just...
Oh, Indian wrestling ain't violent, Molly. Just a matter of balance and psychology. You ready, Junior?
Go.
Yup.
Now, watch it now. Oh, my goodness, McGee. How did you do that? Are you hurt, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh.
Gosh, I hope I didn't bust his arm. I don't know my own strength today. Get up, Junior. Here, let me help you up.
Oh, it's beautiful.
What on earth? What's beautiful?
This floor. What have you got on it? Johnson's wax?
Why, yes, but...
Why, it's magnificent. See how the Johnson's wax brings out the beauty of the wood. Feel that protective film that seals the pores of the wood against dust and dampness.
Imagine that guy. Forfeit 50 cents and let you half kill him just to work in that plug for Johnson. Junior, I'm amazed.
Glad to meet you. I'm Wilcox. I represent S.C. Johnson
yes,
& Son.
we know.
Makers of the finest protective waxes that money can buy. Johnson's wax is the favorite of housekeepers all over the world because it makes housework so easy.
Get up off the floor, Waxy.
Keeps the home so clean and sparkling, protects wood, leather, and enamel surfaces against...
Harlow, snap out of it. It's us, Fibber and Molly.
Say, he must have stunned himself when he fell. Mr. Wilcox.
Where am I?
You're in Racine, Wisconsin.
I am? Gee, I better tell the sales manager I'm here. Look, if you ever get to Wistful Vista, folks, look me up.
Well, for
goodness sakes, did you throw him down that hard, McGee?
Nah, he was faking. That big lunkhead let me throw him on purpose. Where's his 50 cents?
Well, he absent-mindedly took it out of my hand when he left.
Absent-mindedly, my clavicle. And that sharpshooter never left...
Come in. Well, my goodness, Dr. Gamble.
Hello, Molly. Hello, migraine.
Migraine?
Yes, you go against it.
You better go easy with him, Doctor. He's as full of pepper as a Mexican blue plate. He rassled Mr. Wilcox and threw him clear to Racine, Wisconsin.
He ought to be in condition. Every time he gets out of a chair, he wins a weightlifting contest.
Careful there, bone bender. Don't twit me today. I'm just in the mood to give you the old 1-2.
1-2 is right, Sonny. One pass at me and you spend 2 weeks in the fracture ward. What goes with you anyway? How'd you get so healthy all of a sudden?
Well, he simply woke up with a vest full of chest, Doctor.
Terrific energy today, Doc. Old heart's got a beat like a slap bass.
Take off your shirt.
Nah. There you go again. Take off your shirt. Can't take a person's word for feeling good unless you drag out the old stethoscope and have yourself an organ recital.
He's all right, Doctor. Heavenly days, can a man feel full of good cheer and ambition without being sick?
Not this little man. Anytime that sourpuss turns sweet, I reach for the fever chart.
Well, don't worry your old fat head about me, Quack Jack. Trouble with you is you can't stand seeing anybody feeling healthy. For you, a full bottle of pills means an empty day.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, McGee.
Well...
The doctor never treated you for anything you didn't have.
I treated him for $40 once, and he didn't have that for about 10 months.
And I still think you overcharged me on that, too. My gosh, $40. I only had that pneumonia in one lung.
And what a wonderful patient you were, too. The whole staff at the hospital hated to see you leave when you did.
Did they really, Doctor?
Yes, they wanted to toss him out on his gluteus maximus 10 days sooner. Now, look, muscle-bound, just what are you planning to do to work off this magnificent burst of vitality?
I don't know, kid. Been trying to find some job around here that'd really be constructive. I'm in the mood to build something, to try and, well, something that would... Hey, did I ever show you the plans I drew up for a jet-propelled bicycle?
You never even showed me, McGee.
Now, where are they?
Why, they're right here in the hall.
Well, there's the job you've been looking for, Lemonhead.
Yeah. Got to straighten out that closet one of these days.
The King's Men and the Oceana Roll.
Back in 1911, vaudeville was in its heaven. Everyone was doing it, doing it, doing it. Everyone was frivolous and gay. Comedians in baggy pants were followed by precision dancers, and up on the stage at a slightly smaller wage appeared the old quartet, and in a style you can't forget, they open up and sing This Way. Alabama, he was there on that piano like a fish down in the sea when he rattled off some melody. Every sailor boy began to holler, ship ahoy, when Billy cut loose at sea. You ought to see it. Every worm begins to twist and squirm. The ship begins to dip and does a corkscrew turn. The smoke is rolling black from out the smoky stack. It's floating up to heaven and won't come back. Here and there you'll see a stool and chair slipping round the cabin shouting, I don't care. And then the bell begins to ring and the hammock starts to swinging. Sitting at that piano there on the Alabama, playing the Oceana Roll. Now when the bell begins to ring, when the hammock begins to swing, you better man the tilly. There goes Billy. Sailor Billy boy is the real McCoy. His ship goes bloop, old piano knocking out a raggy rhythm. Everybody dances with him, rolling on the mighty ocean with the gay and easy motion. He plays that Oceana roll, the Oceana roll.
McGee, did you straighten out the hall closet?
No, I just kicked the stuff back in. I didn't want to waste all this energy on a simple job like that.
Well, while you dream up something constructive to batter your biceps against, I'll go upstairs and do some mending.
Okay.
If you hear me scream, just ignore it. There's a hole in my thimble.
There goes a good kid. There isn't another wife in the world that'd put up with me, even if it was legal. The way she goes along with my little moods is one of the most... Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, Teeny. To what do we owe the pleasure of this visit to our humble abode?
What's an abode, mister?
An abode is a house, sis. We call it that because it's abode half paid for. That's a joke.
It was a pun, I betcha.
A pun? So what? You one of them highbrows that sneers at a pun because you didn't think of it yourself?
No, but my daddy says a pun is the lowest form of humor.
Oh, he does. Well, he's probably one of them guys that thinks a hot foot is a priceless bit of wit. But you didn't answer my question, sis. Why aren't you in school?
Oh, school's closed on account of an epidermis of measles, I betcha.
Not epidermis, sis. Epidemic. Epidermis is skin.
Where do you think you get the measles, mister?
Touche. I says touche, sis. That's a Spanish word meaning you got me, Val. Now, why aren't you out playing? It's a wonderful day.
Well, gee, mister, I couldn't find any of the kids, and the playground stuff is all put away for the winter, and I guess I didn't want to go see anybody in particular, so I came to see you.
Well, that's a very... Hey! You say the playground stuff is all put away for the winter? You like to play on trapezes and swingses and turning poles and stuff?
Gee, I love it, mister, but in the winter you can't...
Sis, I think you were sent here by Providence.
I was not. I bet you it was my own idea.
I mean, you're the answer I've been looking for. You got a big basement?
No, but my daddy says when I get to be middle-aged, I'll have...
No. I mean, in your house. You got room in your basement for some playground stuff?
Gee, sure we have, I bet you, but what you
Sis, how would you like it if I built you a trapeze and a swing and a turning pole and some stuff right in your own basement?
Oh, gee, mister, that'd be super. Criminy, when you gonna do it, mister? When you?
Right now, sis. Stand by while I gather up a load of tools. Now, let's see now. I'll need a hammer and a rope.
You're a dandy carpenter, mister. Is that a ripsaw?
No, Teeny, this is a crosscut saw. What made you think it was a ripsaw?
On account you ripped your pants in 4 places,
You can't do this stuff without a few mishaps, sis. Now, let's see. Better put this brace right here. Phew. Now, one more brace on this swing, it'll be all finished, sis.
Yeah?
Better 3 hours' work I never did in my life.
You were just wonderful to do it, mister. I take back everything my daddy ever said about you.
Believe me, these things are built in here to stay. You couldn't drag them out of here with a bulldozer. Now, let's see.
Hey, mister. Look what I can do.
Huh?
Looky, I can hang by my knees.
Well, that's very good, sis. I had a distant relative once that learned to hang by his neck.
For fun, mister?
No, for stealing a horse. Now, there you are, Teeny. It's all finished. You now got a set of athletic equipment that ought to last you till you're 82.
Oh, gee, thanks ever so much, mister. Why are you so nice to me,
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's because you kind of remind me of my wife.
Oh?
Besides, it was a privilege, sis. All day long I've been looking for a good constructive job like this. Something to use up my energy. And believe me, I did it. Whew. I've used up my energy for the next 7 weeks. Boy, am I tired. Whew.
Your shirt is wringing wet, mister.
Yeah, I know. Really worked up a sweat, didn't I?
Oh, you mustn't say that, mister. That isn't nice.
Huh?
My teacher says horses sweat, men perspire, and women glow.
Oh. You tell your teacher that when a man works like a horse, he can sweat if he wants to. Help me gather up these tools, will you?
Sure.
Oh, boy, that was really quite a chore, sis.
I'll say
I hope you enjoy using the trapeze and the swinging stuff.
Oh, gee, I will, I bet you. I'm gonna ask my daddy if I can stay up late tonight and play down here.
Oh, you don't have to do that, sis. You'll have plenty of time to use it. This stuff is built to last. It'll be here a long, long time.
Yes, but we won't, I bet you.
Huh?
We're moving tomorrow. Oh, whoops. You dropped your screwdriver, mister.
If a man is known by the company he keeps, is a housekeeper known by the house she keeps? I'm sure you know better than I that the answer is yes. There are certain homes that just seem to have more charm than others, a friendlier gleam that you feel the moment you enter. What makes that extra something? It's not expensive furnishings. No, it's first of all good taste in selection and arrangement, and second, it's good care with wax. It's really remarkable what regular polishings with genuine Johnson's wax will do for the appearance of your home. Floors, furniture, and woodwork take on extra beauty that increases and mellows with each waxing. Windowsills, Venetian blinds, ornaments, lampshades, and picture frames, all are more beautiful for their protective shield of Johnson's wax. And all of these things are easier to keep clean because dirt and dust does not readily cling to waxed surfaces. In fact, when you practice protective housekeeping by the regular use of Johnson's wax, you're saving yourself many hours of work all through the year.
Ladies and gentlemen, the March of Dimes is on. Your dimes, all the dimes you can spare, from 1 to 1,000,000, are desperately needed to fight infantile paralysis. This is the most viciously cruel disease that can strike at children, and you can help in the fight against it.
Yes. Send your contribution, the most generous contribution you can, to the March of Dimes, White House, Washington, D.C.
Don't be ashamed to send 1 dime, and don't be afraid to send 1,000.
When you get out of bed in the morning, think of the children who can't.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.